What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Let's go. Hope everyone had a wonderful Sunday. Appreciate you guys so much for hopping on. Today we're flying the beautiful Southwest over to the beautiful Philadelphia. Just want to say Merry Christmas to you guys. I know it's not exactly Christmas yet, but Merry Christmas to you guys. Hope everyone have a wonderful day tomorrow. Much love to you guys. This will be the last stream you guys will see and hear it in the Christmas music. But good to see you guys, man. Good to see you rock out. What's going on, bro? We got AV Geek in the chat. We got Brian in the chat. We got Willie. We got Brianna in the chat. What's up? We got AAL in the chat. We got Noah. Good to see you, Noah. We got Justin. Appreciate you guys so much for hopping on. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Here we go. All right. Anybody got plans for tonight, Christmas Eve, as we're about to start this beautiful flight? I know a few of you guys said you guys have family dinner going on tonight. That must have been nice. Let me go ahead and get this plane up in the air in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Noah said I had a doctor's appointment. I broke your what, Noah? Your wrist? You broke your wrist. Wow, I'm so sorry to hear that, Noah. Much love to you. That's crazy. It must have been painful. What happened, bro? Were you playing this basketball? Let me see. Chloe said I'm at a Christmas party with the family. Chloe, the fact that you're at a Christmas party right now with the family and you're watching the stream, that means a lot. Shout out to you, Chloe. Hope everyone is having a wonderful night as you're about to rotate. V1, rotate. All right, positive rate, gear up. All right, waiting for the 3 green lights over here. We got Jesse in the chat. What's going on, Jesse? Welcome to the stream. Noah said he got it. Wow, you broke your wrist from snowboarding. Wow, I'm so sorry, man. That is crazy. Brian said, how was your Christmas Eve going, Trip? It's going great, man. Right now, I'm actually keeping an eye on the Dolphins game because right now it's in the 4th quarter, 6 minutes left, and we're up right now, but it's going to be a close game. But good to see you guys, man. Justin said, hey, Trip, today I'm flying in VR. Yeah, Justin, I noticed you said that, man. Much love to you. I tried that before, but it just kept sticking. I got to try to figure out what's the problem on my end because I can't play VR, but the one time I played it and it worked perfectly, it was awesome. Brian said my Bucks blew the Jaguars out. Really? Sheesh. Good game, man. Good game. But yeah, Willie, good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. Willie said you're on a park. Hey, shout out to you, Willie. And also shout out to your fiance, Deja. Jameson, what's up, bro? Jameson said I'll be on soon. Got you, man. Welcome to the stream, everybody. As you guys can see, we're flying in the snow. Yeah, no, it's not snowing in Atlanta right now, but still got to make it Christmassy for the last day we're going to be streaming, because tomorrow we will not be streaming. Everybody's going to be out with the family having dinner, relaxing. So next stream will be on the 26th, the day after Christmas. Is that Jesse I see? That is Jesse. Jesse is flying the beautiful F-22, and Justin, the 2 amazing F-22 pilots at the same time. Let's get it. Let's go. We got great. And Zano said, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too also. Man, much love to you. Willie said, Trip, I sent a picture in the general. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So how you doing? I'm doing better, man. Just getting over this cold. Today's probably the best I've felt in the last 2 weeks from catching this flu, man. So appreciate you guys so much for checking up on me and let me know the best vitamins to take and whatnot. Noah, shout out to you, man. Have a good night, man. Master11 in the chat. What's going on, Master11? Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you too, man. All right, so right now we're at 9,000 feet. 180 knots. All right, so let's go to check the Discord real quick. I think Willie said he sent a picture in the Discord. Let's see. I can't find the picture that Willie sent. Oh, he's in a picture of him and his wife. Nice. Oh, where are you guys at right now, Willie? Beautiful picture, man. Beautiful picture. Retired Firefighter said, hello, family. I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Have a blessed day. Shout out to you, Retired Firefighter, man. Good to see you, bro. Noah said my Detroit Lions won the division today, so it's a good day. Merry Christmas trip. Hey, let's go. My Miami Dolphins right now are trying their hardest to actually win against the Cowboys, so that's our predicament right now. Once again, hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Alexis, what's going on, bro? Say hey, Trip. Merry Christmas to you too, man. Oh yeah, Master 11. I think I did see the post you made. I think you mentioned about the Airburst 8 through 10, your favorite play. much love. Let's go rock out. Good to see you once again, man. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing good. What about you, man? Rock out. Is your uncle watching the stream? Shout out to your uncle, man. Willie said my landings are getting better. They are 100% out, man. I'm telling you, man, the more that you play the sim, the more your landings get better. So, got this. Thank you so much, JJ. TikTok Live, I didn't forget to turn that on, so let me go to switch on TikTok Live. Much love to you. So tomorrow's Christmas, and I still haven't had figgy pudding. So I might have to try to go somewhere and buy some figgy pudding tomorrow. Justin said, Jesse, I'm not going to be flying all the tricks tonight because it's my first time flying in VR. That's pretty awesome, Justin. I'm going to see if I can get my VR to start working. That'll be awesome. All right, so we are now live on TikTok. Let's go. Willie, no, sir. Tomorrow is Christmas. Everyone is going to be chilling with their family, but tomorrow's a family day. We are family also, but we're going to be chilling on the 26th. Jesse said, how's your frames per second in VR? JJ, you on the Airbus A319 tonight? Sheesh. Nice. Awesome. Brian said, where's Antonio at? Good question. Shout out to Antonio. We are going to his hometown. And I don't see him, man. But let's see. Aviation plane said it's 6:07 right now in Villamar. Nice. Let me know what time it is for you guys right now. It's 7:08. All right, so we're looking for a 30-minute flight. After this flight, so if anybody have any suggestions for a 30-minute flight, feel free to let us know. And thank you guys so much for 14 likes already, man. You guys are absolutely amazing. Jesse said VR is very hard in GPU. Yeah, man. I really wish I could play on VR, man. Right now it's 7:08 in Columbus. Willie said it's 7:09 in North Carolina. Tampa to Miami. Beautiful flight. All right, let's start the pro real quick. Alrighty. Next flight. What do you guys normally do on Christmas Eve? I think this is my first ever Christmas Eve stream. Last year, I didn't stream for Christmas Eve and Christmas, so it's pretty cool spending Christmas Eve with you guys, man. Much love to you guys. You guys are family. All right, so the first suggestion was from Brian. Brian, I'm loving your new profile picture, man. I almost didn't realize it was you, man. I saw the name, but then I saw the picture. I'm like, is that Brian? That is Brian. Face reveal. All right, Tampa over to the beautiful Miami. And then we got Rockouts, Fort Lauderdale, over to the beautiful Bahamas. Yo, Steven, wagwan, big up yourself, bro. Everything cool? All right, so we got Fort Lauderdale over to Bahamas. If you guys are joining, thank you so much for hopping on. Right now, we're just flying over to the beautiful Philadelphia. Right now, we're also going to be voting in a few minutes here for the last flight of the night. Looking for a 30-minute flight. So yeah, man, much love. Big up yourself, man. One love, one love. All right, so the Miami Dolphins are now behind by 1 with 3 minutes left. Oh boy, this is going to be a crazy end. This is wild. Let me see. Hey, shout out to you, Matt 11. You got to head out for dinner with your friend. Awesome. Hope you have a wonderful night, man, and Merry Christmas to you also, man. Much love to you. Oh, let me see. Jesse said, me and Lily are going to try to catch Santa. Let's go. Shout out to Jesse and Lily. You guys are going to try to catch Santa. How are you guys going to catch Santa? Let us know. He said El Salvador to where? Managua. Okay. Right now, we at 24,000 feet. We got John in the chat. What's going on, John? Good to see you, bro. Say, hey, man, I'll come and escort. Hey, let's go. Looking forward to it, man. We need one more suggestion, guys. We need looking for a 30 to 45-minute flight. What are we doing after this flight right here? Once again, hoping one is having a wonderful, wonderful Monday night. Thank you so much, Brian. Oh, she wants to stay up all night. That is so sweet. I'm telling you, man. Christmas as a kid, the best thing ever. So, Jesse, are you guys going to leave out milk and cookies for Santa? Let me see. Mana. All right. John said New York to Boston. Perfect. So we got some awesome suggestions here. New York to Boston. That's the last suggestion. To Boston. Perfect. All right. So let's get the poll started in 3, 2, 1. The poll is now live, guys. Feel free to vote for where you want to go to. The options are Tampa to Miami, Fort Lauderdale to Bahamas, El Salvador, then New York to Boston. Feel free to vote to where you guys want to go. Much love. Jesse said trap cookies. Good idea. I love it. Retired firefighter said he's waiting on Santa. He said Santa won't come if you stay up. You have to set a trap for him. Okay. Oh, I got you, Alexis. Yeah, Alexis, just a quick hint. When you pick in a flight, just make sure it's a little bit known. As you can see, it's 0% right now. But we got Lexi in the chat. Lexi said, hey, Merry Christmas. Much love to you, Lexi. Lexi, how was the day? How did you spend your Christmas Eve? Awesome flying here by Jesse and Justin. Appreciate you guys so much for hopping on. Midnight Mass. Yes, retired firefighter. How was your day, man? What did you do today, bro? Thank you so much for hopping on. How's the family doing? How's the grandson? I think you said your grandson was supposed to hook you up with Flight Simulator. How's that coming along? Yeah, Alexis. Lexi, we miss you too. We'd love to have you on sometime soon. Whenever you're free, feel free to hop on and fly with us. Much love to you and your family. How's your husband doing? Daughter? Let us know. Much love to you. Awesome flying by Jesse. I don't see Justin. Justin, maybe he's having some problems with his VR. Oh, actually, he's behind of us right here. Well, hope everybody's having no one for it once again. We're just about to hit 30,000, so let's go and level off. JJ said, Lexi. This is a relatively short flight, not too long. Yeah, he's way far back. Let me see. Either he's flying autopilot or his game froze because I don't see his altitude changing. He said your name is never act. All right, let me see. Let me look out for your name real quick. As of right now, I do not see your name as yet, but I'll keep an eye out for it, man. I see you made a name 4 years ago. Got you. We got Rex in the chat on TikTok. Good to see you, Rex. We got Jacob. Good to see you, Jacob. John said he loaded up. Got you, John. Shout out to you, GG. Much love to you, man. Jacob, yes, sir. I do have a setup. Using a PC and using the TCA Boeing yoke. Are you team Airbus or Boeing? Molex family, good to see you, man. Did not see you there, but yeah, I'm team Boeing, but Airbus is pretty good too, man. Jameson said he sent some of my playing spots from yesterday where I to see a Boeing 787, which is rare for my airport. Nice. Did you send them in the Discord? Trying to get 30 likes before we land, guys. Smash that like button. We got 16 likes right now. Thank you guys so much, man. Switching to the 777-300ER. Sheesh. Retired firefighter said I went to mass today. Family's doing okay. Thank you for asking. How's your family doing? My family's doing good, man. Much love to you. We all were sick. Trying to get over the flu. Still not 100% over it, but slowly but surely getting over it. Let me see. Thank you so much for the follow, JMO. He said he sent it in the plane spot. I got you. So it looks like we have a surprise guest tonight. Surprise guest will be Captain Nick. So Captain Nick is going to be on with us right now. Okay, so Captain Nick is actually free. So to rock out and everybody else that love aviation that want to be a pilot or so, I just want to know everything, the ins and outs of flying. Feel free to ask any questions. He'll be on right now. And he also flies this actual plane in real life, the Southwest 737. So let's go ahead and see if we can get him on the line real quick. Feel free to hit the like button, guys. He said Team Airbus. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get this going over here. Give me 2 seconds. All right, let me go ahead and give him a call real quick and see if is it Team Boeing? All right, so I'm going to give him a call in the Discord, and it should be good to go. Once again, thank you guys so much for hopping on. We're just about to have Captain Nick on the phone call. So you guys can feel free to ask any questions you guys have as we're on our way over to the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Philadelphia. All right, here we go. Let me see. Vortex said, isn't it supposed to be nighttime? No, sir. Not real time, real weather. So what is the game of time? I'm coming in from London into Atlanta. Nice. Game of time is AAA Snipes. AAA Snipes. Probably see me. Nice. Said you have Geek Squad coming out in January. Nice. Hopefully, Geek Squad can help you out. Alrighty, here we go. All right, so we are now calling Captain Nick.
What's going on, buddy?
Hello, hey, what's up, Captain Nick? Good to hear from you. How are you doing?
Fantastic, better than I deserve. How are you?
Awesome, I'm doing good. For everyone that's new, this is Captain Nick. He's basically like our resident pilot. He's an awesome Southwest pilot. Been flying for years. We appreciate him so much for answering questions. Also, there is a Discord that you guys can check out. This is where he actually answers questions about being a pilot and how to become a pilot. He's an amazing guy, awesome personality, awesome person to get information from. So feel free to ask him any questions you want. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Captain Nick is in the house. Let's get it. All right. So Captain Nick, how was today, man?
Oh, it's good, man. I'm spending some time with family. I'm avoiding all the mess that's going on out in the ATC world.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Getting this home.
How was your recent travels? Any hiccups on the flights or just beautiful sceneries? Smooth flights all the way?
No, it's always beautiful. It's always amazing.
Awesome.
I don't know if I told you last time we spoke, I had a couple medical emergencies on the same flight.
You did? What?
Yeah, there was 2 on the exact same flight, so we were lucky. We had a couple paramedics in the back who were helping them out.
Wow.
Everything got handled as it should have been and expeditiously. But yeah, no, it's other than that, it's been amazing, man.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Everybody in the chat is saying hello to Captain Nick. Everybody's saying hello. Awesome. So that's pretty awesome. That's crazy because I've actually seen since been actually listening to ATC, and I see Southwest have been having a lot of different emergencies lately. For instance, 2 nights ago, I see that a flight diverted to Atlanta because engine failure. So that one of my videos that blew up got 2 million views, and everyone was so shocked. But stuff like that happened every day, correct? Because everyone was the main discussion. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that it's something that luckily we prepare for very intensely. It's something that every year when I go back to Sims.
Yeah.
We're hitting birds, we're catching on fire, we're doing, they put us through the absolute ringer. And it's for things like that. I mean, that way when we get out on the real world and we do hit that bird or we do, the engine, something happens to it, which is so rare. I mean, you're talking, I have 6,000, 7,000 hours and I've literally never hit a bird.
Wow.
I've hit one like the nose or I've hit one on a wing, but I've never had one in an engine. So those guys, they may be 20, 30-year pilots experiencing their first engine
time.
failure ever.
Wow.
But like I said, because we do it in the sim, we do it so repetitively to make it muscle memory that when it happens in the air, it's like, yeah, of course your nerves spike just a little bit, but it's like, okay, this is what we train for. Like, this is what we do.
Yeah, that's true. Got you. So basically, they're used to it, so they know exactly what to do in this situation, know what button to press, what to do. That's awesome, man. We have a few more questions coming in from Noah. Noah said, "How?"
Happens, I mean, that's a muscle memory thing. Like we turn everything off. You are strictly dealing with a flying pilot at that point.
Got you. Noah said, "How many years have you been flying for Southwest?"
For Southwest, actually, only just a few. What am I, 2 years in with them? A third year now.
Oh, nice.
So I've been flying actually before I was driving.
Wow.
And then flying professionally since 2008. So What is that?
That's a lot of experience.
15 years.
That's a lot of experience. That's awesome, man. The Monarchs family said, what is the scariest flight or situation you've ever had as a pilot? That's the interesting one.
I'm very fortunate. I have had, when I was in the training world, I I had an engine that was sputtering on me, and it ended up blowing a header or something. It blew a gasket or something, and it shot oil all over the windscreen.
Yeah.
And so when I was coming in, I was flying in Tennessee, and I've got oil all over my windscreen. I can't see out, and basically I had to use my instruments, which is why they always say trust your gauges. And I found an airport that I wanted to go to, and I had to put the plane into a slip, which is where we use a lot of rudder
Yeah.
to kick the nose over, so I could see out of the side window and see where I was going. So I flew this approach down pretty low, and then I had to slip it to make sure I was where I wanted to be, and then I came in and landed. So that was probably the most intense thing I've had.
Yeah, that is scary, man. But the fact you knew exactly what to do to put the plane in a slip and just put it down, awesome. That's pretty cool, man. We have another question here from Rockout. He's another big candidate that I would love for you to mentor if he's up for it. He said, "Hey, Captain Nick, do they give you a paper with like a paragraph of what to tell the passengers before the flight, or do you just put it in your own words from the information you have about the flight? So basically, before flight, the announcements you make to the passengers."
So that one's kind of, I mean, of course, if you are a bookworm, you can dig somewhere into our books, and they have like an example of kind of what they like to say. But one of the beautiful things about Southwest, one of the reasons why I wanted to go there so bad from such a young age, I was 3 or 4 years old, was Southwest very much encourages you to have your own personality, your own life. Whereas if you go to some of these other airlines, they're very much, nope, read the scripture, read the book, read the the AOM, the FOM, whatever it is. Yeah. Southwest is very much like, make it your own, have fun with this. And if I can talk to a passenger like it's another human being, instead of like, sometimes you hear these guys, they get on the radio and they're like, oh, it's 3 degrees Celsius, and you're like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not like a human, and no, I mean, the yes and the no to Rockout's question is, yes, somewhere in our book, I'm sure you can find something that talks about an example, but we very much put our own twist and flair, and we make it seem like we're talking to another human back there, which obviously you are, versus just talking to a robot.
Yeah, that is very, very good, because sometimes we do hear the pilots speaking and they're speaking in different languages, or not different languages, but it sounds like you're using jargons and stuff that you can't understand. So the fact that you guys take the time to talk to us like a friend or like somebody you're familiar with makes it more easier for us to understand and understand exactly what you guys are saying. So that's pretty awesome.
Right.
Somebody else asks, let me see. So Justin, I don't know if you and Justin had a personal question in the Discord. He said, Nick, I'm supposed to remind you about the question I asked you about pilots and co-pilots. I'm not sure if you remember. He asked you a question about pilots. Can you be more specific, Justin, to help?
Yeah, because I remember asking him. I was like, hey, the next time I'm on, I was like, please ask this question. I just can't remember exactly.
Yeah, because you do get asked a lot of questions in the Discord, so I'm not sure you can remember.
It's amazing. Your members have such incredible questions.
It's great questions too. Yeah.
Sometimes the questions you get, it's like, it's just a very basic. Some of them that you get, man, like, how'd you even think of that? I've been flying for 15 years. I don't even know what it's doing. I'm like, I've got to go in the books. Hold on.
Oh my goodness! I actually sit there and read almost all the questions and the answers, and it's incredible. The vibe in the chat is amazing. So thank you so much for what you do for us, man. Much love to you. Somebody said, Trip, Dolphins just won. Yes, sir. Shout out to my Miami Dolphins. They just won, and they are going to the playoffs. So shout out to Miami Dolphins. So we have another questions here. Somebody said, were you nervous the first time? Actually, 1 second. I think I skipped. So somebody said, is it true that there's air marshal on planes sometimes if you can say? So they said, are there air marshals on the airplane sometimes? Yes or no. If you can't say, you can't say.
Are you asking about federal air marshals? I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn you up.
Oh, sorry, no problem. Yeah, somebody was asking if are there air marshals on the flights sometimes.
Yes. And we have kind of a unique relationship with them. They don't always have to tell us that they're there. They're actually the only, we call them LEOs, which is a law enforcement agency. They're one of the only LEOs that do not have to give us a sheet that says, "Hey, I'm on your plane. I've got a gun."
Yeah.
You know, it's a little known fact. Some pilots carry guns as well. We call them F.F.D, Federal Flight Deck Officer. And so generally, like if a cop gets on, he wants to tell the pilots like, "Hey, I've got a gun," because I might say, "Hey, so do I." And so we want to make it known to each other that we are there.
Yeah.
FAMs, Federal Air Marshals, they don't actually have to do that. Some of them do, and they're incredible people. You know, we love them to death, but they don't have to, because part of their mission is secrecy.
Gotcha.
And so sometimes they come on, and then sometimes even like when they get off, they'll just hop up and be like, "Hey guys, we were here and wanted to say hi." Or every once in a while, you know, they'll come up to the front beforehand and let us know.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because one of my first videos ever to go viral was this ATC conversation where federal air marshal actually flashed his gun to a flight attendant, and yeah, that was crazy, and that caused a big chaos on the aircraft, because it was like, oh, so a passenger has a gun, but they didn't know that it was actually air marshal. So yeah, that's good to know. Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of flight that was on? Because that's actually happened on one of mine. And
really?
It was a big deal. We were like, yeah.
Maybe it was yours.
He was in the back row. He was in the back row. It was a couple years ago. He was in the back row, and he flashed the flight attendant. She called up, and she was like,
"That's the same. That's the same flight."
Leo.
What?
Yeah.
That is.
So I don't know if it
insane.
was happened before, or if it was our flight too, or what the situation was. But that's actually happened before to me too.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, that's good to know, man. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat once again. Thank you so much for hopping on. What's up, OWLs? I saw you had an awesome stream tonight, man. Much love. Right now, we're on the phone with a Southwest pilot. He's answering some questions right now. We go to shout out to Antonio. Welcome to the stream. Vortex, welcome to the stream. John, everybody in the chat, welcome. Potato, I see you, Ryan. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we have another question here. It was from Rockout. So, were you nervous the first time you had to say an announcement?
Yeah, I think that, you know, there's obviously I think if you care enough, there will always be a certain amount of nerves associated with whatever you're doing. You know, Tripp is doing the stream right now. He's done it a million times. And yet when he pushes that record button, I'm sure there's a certain amount of nerves, because he wants, you know, he takes pride in that. He wants it to come out well.
Yeah.
He wants to do well.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think, you know, just because time has gone on and now I can get on there and talk like it's fluent.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it any less nerve-wracking sometimes.
That's
but
true.
I think it also helps. You know, like what I used to do with my students, they were so scared to talk to air traffic control. And so like Rockout, you know, if you were one of my students, odds are what I would do is I would take you up into the air traffic control centers and have you talk to them and realize, hey, that's a person. Like that person's there to help me. And so if it helps me sometimes to realize that who I'm talking to is my passenger. And some of them back there are terrified. Some of them have flown a billion times. Some of them are my family or my friends. And so it just helps to be able to talk to them as a human. And that's one thing that I like, once again, I really like about Southwest is they encourage that. Like, speak from your heart. Don't just be a robot. And so the answer is yes. As time goes on, a little less nerves because you've done it a few times, but still pride. You still care about what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Good answer. Great answer, actually. Jameson said, how does higher altitudes affect the engine performance? How does higher altitudes affect the engine performance?
That is an incredible question. So those are the type of questions I was talking about that I was like, I never would have thought to ask that question.
Exactly.
At one point. Higher altitudes, there's less air up at altitude. And so, you know, for example, I'm at 41,000 feet and I need power. I may need actually pretty much all the power I can get to make a small change. So like if you ever, you know, we practice high altitude stalls a lot because God forbid it happens, you know you're probably going to lose a lot of altitude recovering from that stall.
Yep.
Just because there's just no air there. Whereas you're down at 8,000 feet, man, these things will gulp air, no problem. And especially with a jet engine, we take so long to spool up, whereas with a propeller, you get immediate power.
Okay.
So jet engine takes a long time to spool up, but when they get power, they get a ton of it. But up at altitude, there's just no air to convert. And so, it takes a long time. We did a demonstration last year in the Sims where, you know, we were up at 8,000 feet or whatever it was, and we were going from 200 to 250 knots, and we did it in a couple seconds.
Wow.
And then they put us at 38,000 feet. It took like 30 seconds to gain 50 knots because there's just nothing up there to give it to you. So we slowed all the way back to 200 and then went, okay, I say firewall thrust, but we never really use it, but full power, if you will. And it just watching the airspeed, you're like, come on. There's just no air.
Got you. Thank you so much for that amazing answer. Also, shout out to everybody on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. On the phone, we have real life Southwest pilot with us. Feel free to ask any questions you guys have. Shout out to Captain Nick. Thank you so much for hopping on with us, man. This is a big question also. Said Nick, as a pilot, what do you think happened to MH370? I don't know if you have a theory. Everyone has their own theory on what happened to that plane. I don't know if you
and that question is highly controversial, which I try to stay away from, especially in the capacity that you have put me in. I much appreciate the platform you put me. So I try to stay away from controversial stuff like that. I mean, I honestly don't know that's a big plane to just disappear. I have my own theories. I'm probably going to keep them to myself. If you see me out in the real world and we want to talk about it, that's something I'm more than happy to do. But to put it on a platform like this, I think is a little controversial.
Yeah, that's why I saw the question. I was like, oh boy. Exactly. Yeah. Justin said, how long does it take for a first officer to become a captain? How long?
That was it. That was a good question. Okay, so that's important, and I wanted to go over that on a bigger platform like this. Because like I told you, you have someone in your realm right now who's excited to become a pilot. And the reason why I love doing what I'm doing, the reason why I'm on your Discord, is you're giving them an opportunity to talk to someone who, like, I didn't have an advisor or a mentor. I went into this totally blind, and I wish I would have known some things beforehand. I just never could have known to ask those questions. And so Jay asked that question the other day, and I was like, please remind me of that one again. Because it depends on what airline you're at. It depends on what kind of planes you fly. It depends on where you want to be based at. So for someone who is interested in becoming a pilot, that will play a huge part. For example, Southwest has a long, comparatively, has a very long upgrade time. Okay, so like the reason is we have one plane type, okay, and we have good bases. And frankly, they pay our FOs so well that I'm not in a rush to upgrade, for example. You know what I mean? Like, there's a thing called a seniority list, and we have an overall seniority list, but then we have a first officer seniority list, and we have a captain seniority list. Even with that, we have, like in Denver, there's a Denver first officer list and a Denver captain list. So as you're making your way up those seniority lists, you get better and better, trips that you can bid for, and you have better, I don't want to work Christmas. Well, having a seniority, I can hold that off. Or, I don't want to work nights or weekends, whatever it is, your seniority determines whether or not you can hold that. So, for example, at, I'm just going to use Delta. Delta still flies the 717. It's a very junior plane. Not a whole lot of people want to fly it. But I could hop over to Delta tomorrow and be a captain on a 717 in like a year.
Wow.
Well, that's because where the 717 is based at, or the plane type, like no one wants to fly that plane, for example. And I'm not saying no one does, like let's not get controversial there, but let's say that's not the plane they want. It makes it a more junior plane. Well, Southwest, for example, we have just one plane type, which makes us so efficient, and we pay our FOs so well that it's like, okay, I'm not in a rush. I've got great seniority. I can hold nights and weekends off. And that's what we were kind of talking about, was like, once you run up that list, not just the first officer list in Denver, but just first officers in general, I can hold what I want to hold. The second I upgrade to captain, I'm at the bottom relatively of that list now. And I just went, from having the days I want off, I never fly weekends, I never fly nights, I never fly holidays. Well, now all of a sudden I'm flying all of those. I'm not getting the trips I want.
Wow.
Maybe I even have to commute to base, right? Like maybe the only way for me to hold captain was for me to be a Los Angeles captain. Well, I don't want to do that. I live in Denver. And so you have to play that game. So the short answer to that question is, for Southwest, it's about 6.5 years right now to become captain.
Oh, 6.5
People
years.
don't take them. Yeah, 6.5 years, which sounds like a long time. It's it's not in that world, but it is when you look at like United or Delta. But what they're not telling you, it sounds well to be like, oh, well, in 1 year or a year and a half. Like I got a friend who upgraded on the 7.3 in a year and a half. Well, he happened to live in a junior base for United. He happened to want to be in the 737. So it was a great fit for him. I don't want to live in DC, for example. And so that never worked for me. I wanted to live in Denver. Well, to upgrade in Denver takes, because it's, a more senior base for them, I might be an FO for 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're a little different in that regard. But I would say, like, if I went over to United or Delta, I could probably upgrade in about a year and a half, 2 years. And that's airplane dependent. I'm not going to upgrade to, a 787 captain. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, that might take 25 years.
Wow.
You might reserve for 20 of them. So it's just, that's all quality life dependent. That's a very hard answer for a question.
Amazing. That was an amazing answer. Thank you so much for the in-depth answer. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah. I think Brian asked a question. Said, "What's the worst turbulence have you ever encountered, and where was it?"
I mean, it's pretty common that we get turbulence in your neck of the woods going into Miami. Yeah. I did have. We told the flight attendants to clean up, and they unfortunately didn't do it fast enough. And I had a flight attendant hit her head on a cabin one time. No. Yeah, it was knock on wood. It was just a very I got her checked out. Everything was good. But, we weren't going to go forward with it because obviously our crew comes first. But so I've had some pretty heavy moderate. I try to stay away. Some people don't really understand how that scale works. There's light, there's moderate, and there's severe. If you say the word severe, you are technically by the books saying I have someone injured or I have bent metal. And so when you hear sometimes you'll hear a Cessna 172, they may not know that legally what you just said was I've bent my plane, I have damage, I have someone is injured. And so you'll hear them sometimes be like, oh yeah, we're hitting severe turbulence. And you're like, okay, are you? Are you for real or are you not? So you have to read between the lines there. And then we have COP versus turbulence. Those are very different things. So I would say hitting Miami in the summer is very normal to hit some moderate chop. Going over the mountains, the Rockies, we get mountain wave a lot. And to answer or to come back to your question of high altitude stuff, it can be 8,000 feet, for example, or 37, 39, and hit mountain wave and need pretty much all of our power going over the Rockies. It's just kind of how it works.
Wow.
So luckily I've not had severe, real, actual severe. But I've been pretty close.
Gotcha.
I've been close.
I'm glad that you haven't experienced the severe because I've heard that it's crazy insane. I've seen videos and it's super, super insane. Let me see. So Jesse said, I've heard it's better to be a senior first officer than a new captain.
Yes.
Yep. I think you spoke about that a few minutes ago. That is so true. I think Antonio.
Once again, that's quality of life dependent, though, right? Because some people who are like, I am here for the money, then maybe not. Maybe it's better to be a captain. But then it's I can hold personally 18 days off a month. A new captain might hold 13.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's what is your quality of life is the answer to that one.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Antonio said, what is the most difficult decision you made as a pilot? Difficult decision.
Any kind of diversion is a difficult situation. I've had to make those a few times where I'm looking at the weather, I'm starting to get socked in. We all have a thing that we like to call get there-itis. As pilots, my job is to fly, let's say all of us little, I always call us my little family. Let's say all of us on the Discord are in a plane together, and we're super stoked to go to Miami. We're dropping trip off. I have a natural propensity to get to Miami. But if I'm seeing microbursts in the area, and I'm seeing some nasty storms in the area, if I have to make that decision of, I can't get him to Miami, but I can get him to Lauderdale or I can get him to Jacksonville, it will make them unhappy, but it is the safest course. And maybe we wait it out. Maybe in 30 minutes, that weather's moved off the airfield That's a really difficult decision, even though it sounds kind of normalized, like, oh, well, it's not safe, don't go there. But when you have that pressure, like if you make the wrong decision, now you're getting a call from the FAA, from chief pilots, and they're like, hey, why'd you do this? And all of a sudden your knowledge and your experience is in question. That's a big deal. And that's what, like, okay, those guys that, the Miracle on the Hudson, right? Like,
Captain Sully.
Everyone's like, dude, why did you not go back to an airfield? And they were like, we knew with our knowledge and experience that we couldn't. But man, they were put through the ringer forever because they were like, well, we better be able to prove that. And they held to their guns and they were right. But it's like, that's a hard decision for us to make because you're putting everything on the line to be like, it was not safe to go there. And you better be right. Yep.
Better be right, because diversions happen all the time, and I see pilots they're faced with that decision all the time, and it's tough indeed.
Yeah.
So that was a great question. Shout out to you for that question. Somebody said, how much does a FO make a year? That's a personal question, but
and which actually I don't mind answering at all.
Okay.
I think that we're normalizing that a little more.
Yeah.
But that question is so loaded because we could be off, like, let's say a first or second year FO is on average going to make, at Southwest, 130 grand. I don't know if that's the right answer. Just let's say 130. But you've got a 10-year FO who's making like 350. So like that answer is very, very loaded, and that also depends on your quality of life. So are you picking up trips on your off days, or are you wanting to be at home? How much are you wanting to work? I heard of a first year, which notoriously every airline does not pay their first year first officers well, because you're kind of paying back the training that they just put you through is expensive. So like when I went through training, they're spending $70,000 on me to get my type rating. So generally your first year, you're not really going to make anything because you're kind of paying the company back in a way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, second year, you get this huge pay bump. So with that in mind, like let's say a first year first officer may make 60. I mean, these are round numbers, so I'm just throwing out BS numbers. We had one of our first year first officers make like 198 last year, but all he did was fly. So that answer is very, very loaded. With our new contract, which is we're voting on right now, it's made the news quite a few times, so I feel like I can safely talk about it. We have topped out captains who are looking at making probably 400 to 500 a year. But once again, it's how are you playing that system? Because they're going to make $369. We don't call it an hour, we call it a trip for pay. So if they're going to make $369 a trip, which is, let's just call it an hour just for good numbers, right?
Yeah. That's
a ton of money. But like, you also have to look, what did they put in to get to this point?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, my first year as a pilot, I made like $8,000. Like, I was broke. I mean, I didn't start making money until more recent. So, I'm very fortunate to be where I am now because now I am financially well off.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, also I like to have more time with family. I've got 18 days off this month. Awesome. I've got 18 or 19 off next month. So I prioritize that over money. So probably not the best person to ask. I do know some other guys they were in my class and they're going to make a ton more than me, but they also don't have any time at home like I do.
Wow. So, got you. Thank you so much for answering the question. Also, thank you guys so much for hopping on. Kesman, thank you so much for the follow and welcome to the chat. James, good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you guys so much for the awesome questions. Let me see if you guys got some more. Once again, we're on the line with the amazing Captain Nick, the captain for Southwest Airways. Airlines. Let me see if anybody. Let me see. You said, how do you decide about medical emergencies? How far out can you be without changing destinations? That's a question from Chris.
That's an incredible question, actually, and that will change. So that goes back to your question of like, you better be right. So there's a lot of judgment in that. If I have a flight attendant who calls me up and they say, hey, I've got someone here who just passed out. Or I just had someone who's having a seizure or a stroke. Like, everything changes, right? Okay, well, if they just passed out, is their blood sugar low? Do we have a paramedic on board? That will change a lot of things. We also have a program called StatMD that we use, and literally I can call someone from the flight deck using my radios. So like, I'll tell the guy I'm flying with, I'm like, hey man, I'm on 2, you take 1, like you got the plane, and I'll hop over to this other radio, and I literally can call a doctor and tell them, here's, it's a 40-year-old male, passed out, blah, blah, blah. Like I just give them as much information as I know, and I can patch them in with my flight attendants so they can put on a headset back there. And then depending on so many factors, where I am in the world, do I have paramedics on board or do I have a doctor or whatever? How is this person doing? They will help give me an idea of like, hey man, this is serious.
Yeah.
I had a lady who had blood coming out of her ear one time.
Wow.
But I was already like 80 miles away from Portland. So it's like, there's no reason to divert at this point because Portland's actually my best alternate. So I didn't have to divert, but I did declare the medical emergency. I did get priority. I was able to go faster than, you normally do. Wow. But there was just, because of our speed and distance, the place we were supposed to go to anyways was actually our best alternative, because you're up at 30-something thousand feet. Just because you have an airport right below you, it's actually going to take me longer to get straight down to that plane or to that airport than if I just went in a straight line descending and got to Portland. So like I was flying over, whatever, Bend or Oregon or Eugene, but I'm like, it's actually better if we just keep going straight than it is to just dive bomb down on this field.
Got you. Wow. Thank you so much for that awesome answer. James is in the chat. James said, I'm going to go for my PPL this summer. So you got any important tips from my journey?
I do. I would highly advise join Trips Discord, get on that pilot thing. I am more than happy to help you in every way I can. I will be there every step of your journey. I was just teaching the phonetic alphabet the other day. It's simple things like that. If you can get ahead of, whether you're in a class or not, just imagine your classmates. If you can learn, for example, the phonetic alphabet before you get there, well, you have a huge leg up on everyone else who's going into training at the same time. And if you've got that, well, let's work on altitudes. Let's work on airspace. Let's work on, like, just the more you know. And there's a ton of free information out there now that wasn't out there a few years ago, and I can point you in that direction as well. Sorry, I've been talking so fast. I'm like excited to get this question now.
No, that's fine. Doing great.
Join that Discord. Ask me that question again, and I will be there every single step of the way, whether you want to stop at your private license, you want to go to your instrument, commercial, multi, CFI, double I, AGI, ATP, whatever. I've got you. I will help point you at everything that's going to help you get ahead of this thing. And I'll try to point you specifically to free things, because the private is not, it's not cheap. It's going to be about 10 grand to get your private license. That's common. A common question I get a lot. It's going to be about $11,000 to get your private license, but you can do so much for free. You have to know where to look, and you have to put in the time, energy, and the effort to not be spoon-fed everything. And that's hard, because we as humans like to be held and nurtured. But if you can break that mold a little bit and realize that so much of becoming a pilot is how much you're taking on yourself. And I will point you to all the right stuff. You will have to read it and digest it, and I can answer the question, but you will save thousands that way. And it'll just take a lot of stress off.
Amazing. I would just like to pause and say thank you so much, Captain, because the information you're offering is very, very crucial to becoming a pilot, and the fact that you are passionate about this and helping and giving out free information, it means a lot. A few weeks ago, we had another PPL holder. He was on the stream, and he spoke to us about how a pilot he spoke to on a commercial flight even reached out to him and helped him to become an actual pilot. So the fact that you're willing to take time out and you actually care about giving them the way of how to do things in a cheaper way of becoming a pilot, it's absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for all your help, man. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Of course, man.
You showed a lot of faith. I mean, the first time we spoke, you gave me a lot of faith right there, and I definitely appreciate it. And
yes, sir.
I didn't have anyone like what I'm doing right now. And I wish I did, because it is definitely not cheap to become a pilot. And you want guidance, and I'm happy to offer
That's
that,
what I'm
man.
saying. We really appreciate it. Question. Antonio said, "Do some holding patterns cause diversions?" So, do some holding
Um,
patterns cause diversion?
Kind of, yeah. So sometimes it depends on what you're holding for. I've been put into a hold for flow for like try like going obviously always going into the Northeast. It feels like um, I'm going into Philly or I'm going into LaGuardia,
Yep.
and they're like, "Hey, we've got traffic flow because there's bad weather and we have to stack you guys." And so they're like, they give you what's called an EFC times, expect further clearance,
Okay.
and you start running the numbers. You're like, okay, if this holds true, I cannot continue. And so you start working with your dispatcher and you start running the numbers and you work with your other pilots and you talk to the flight attendants in the back and you're like, hey, we're making new plans up here. And so instead of going to LaGuardia, our diversion point is now Philly. And once you hit what we call it bingo. Once we hit bingo time, it's like, all right, we need to divert. We cannot now make it to LaGuardia safely and have the reserves of fuel that we want to have. And so we just, we bail out and we go somewhere else, we fill up, and then we do it again. So it can, yeah, holding can
Got you.
cause a diversion if
Definitely.
for too
Thank you so
long.
much for answering. That's a good question, now, Antonio. I myself was thinking about that the other day. So, Antonio, thank you so much for that awesome question, man. Um, and we have somebody say, Captain Nick, you are awesome, man. Thank you so much. And he said he's looking forward to being a pilot. Let's go.
Absolutely, man.
Let me see. James again. James said, thank you so much, Captain Nick. Let me see.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Let me see. Of course, man. It's always a good time to have you on. I saw a question, but I lost it. 1 second. I'm gonna be. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. James said I fly on VATSIM, so I know pretty good about flying. He said I would love to hop on VATSIM. Do you know what VATSIM is actually? Because VATSIM is like an online version of ATC. We us simmers, when we fly, technically we don't talk to anyone like an actual ATC, but VATSIM is a program where we actually have another person on the other end of the line that actually is running ATC operations. Have you ever heard or seen other people flying?
And I think it's a phenomenal tool.
Yeah.
I said something the other day on the Discord channel, which I think not a lot of people have heard, but one thing I always told my students is practice makes permanent.
Oh,
It does not make
permanent.
perfect.
I like that.
So if you're okay, so I'm terrible at golf. So if I'm practicing my swing wrong over and over and over, I'm probably going to do it wrong in the real world. And so I love that sim, with a caveat that if you're using that sim for proficiency, understand that maybe the person on the other line is not actually, saying it back to you perfect. And which the irony on that is, like, when I play Microsoft Flight Sim, every once in a while I hear them say something, just like the regular pre-recorded voices.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would they be doing this right now? And so, like, they tried to send me down to 9,000 feet, like 250 miles out. And I'm like, why are we doing this? But no, yeah, I think that sim is an incredible tool because a lot of those people actually do know what they're talking about. A lot of them are actually ATC or they're actually pilots. And we're very passionate about what we do. So of course, we're with help. Just be, like I said, just be careful. It's just because you heard it this way on VATSIM does not make it like the law.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
But
That's
it's great,
true.
fantastic tool.
Great tool to have. Awesome.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Amber. Good to see you. Thank you so much for hopping on. Let me see who else do we have. Spooderman, good to see you. So we have a question here that said, "What
They
made
always
you?"
have some good questions.
Yeah, they said, "What made you want to be a pilot when you were younger? What made
I
you?"
was 3 or 4, and so my mom and dad divorced when I was very young, and my dad moved to Nashville. I lived in Portland, Oregon, and the only airline that flew direct PDX to BNA was Southwest.
Wow.
And when I was young, pilots were pulling me up into the this is pre 9/11. Pilots were pulling me up into the cockpit like mid-flight. Flight attendants are letting me sit in their jump seats. I'm handing out peanuts. I'm like 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, and I became part of this family. Which, if you notice on the Discord, I always say my little family because that's what aviation is to all of us. Like, it is just another family. It's an offset of family. And so I was like 3 years old being brought into this world of aviation. And I was actually looking more forward to the flights to and from my homes than I was getting home. And So the irony is when they canceled the direct flight, I got so excited because that meant I actually got to do 2 flights to Nashville and 2 flights back to Portland. And I was 3 years old. I've got it written in all my yearbooks. You know, when they ask like, "What do you want to do when you get older?" and people are like, "Oh, I want to be a rock star. I want to be, you know, a cop or a firefighter." It's like a pilot. Ever since I was 3 years old, 4 years old, I want to be a pilot for Southwest, and I'm very, very living that dream right now.
Hello? Sorry, the signal was kind of bad. Testing. We lost you for a second there. Captain Nick, still here?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, now we go. Now we can hear you. Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know where I cut out. I was kind of rambling. But,
now you was doing.
Yeah, I'm very on doing what I've always wanted to do. I was like 3 years old. I told my mom I was going to be a Southwest pilot one day.
Awesome. So the fact that you just said you wanted to be a Southwest pilot one day and then got up and now you're a Southwest pilot for 2 years is amazing, man. So congratulations again on that, man. That is every young pilot dream, man. So much love to you. Let me see. Do we have any questions? I just happen to see so many diversions from New York to come to Philly. So that's Antonio made his comment saying he see a bunch of diversions from Newark to Philadelphia. All right, let me see. Also, hey, Merry Christmas to everyone. Not Christmas yet, but Merry Christmas Eve to everyone also. Anybody have any more last minute questions? Don't want to keep Captain Nick here too long. I know he has an awesome family he has to celebrate Christmas Eve with. So if anybody have any more, 1 or 2 more questions, feel free to ask. And let me see. Somebody said I was on a Southwest flight one Wednesday that had the right engine trouble. That is funny. I remember posting. Yeah, that was I mentioned that earlier about an engine failure, and this person just said he was on that same flight that had the engine failure. Wow,
that's crazy.
That is crazy, man. Somebody said, "What's your opinion on Philadelphia Airport?" It's my home airport. Antonio asked that question.
I mean, Philly is laid out really well. You know, in terms of the runways, it can get pretty congested on the taxiway. But I've always liked going into that airport, landing over the fort, landing by, you know, all the stadiums over the water. It's a very cool airport to go into.
Okay, awesome. So there we go, Antonio. Hey, Antonio loves Philadelphia. Actually, we're flying Southwest right now, headed over to the beautiful Philadelphia. So that's perfect. Somebody said, "What's your does Southwest or most airlines allow a pilot to base in a location that's not a hub, or do they have to be based at a hub?" That question is from Jameson.
So that is one of the primary things you're going to want to think about. You know, if someone wants to be a pilot, and I hear this a lot where people are like, "Oh, I want to fly for, you know, Delta or Southwest or whatever." And when I ask why, you know, sometimes they don't really have an answer. They're just like, "Oh, I like the colors," or, you know, they just seem awesome or whatever. But if you actually want to fly for them, for example, when I lived in Nashville, at the time, Nashville is not a base for anyone. Now, we have announced Nashville for Southwest next year. Well, I guess in a couple days. Next year, like Q2 next year.
Yep.
So when I lived in Nashville, but I was based in DC because that's a base for the company I was working for. I had to get myself to and from. So that's called commuting, and it's not fun at all. Yep. No one likes being a commuter, I promise you. So that goes back into that seniority thing where they were asking how long does it take to become, you know, captain. I would rather be a first officer senior living in base than a commuting captain going across the country, because all that time that you're getting to and from work, that's on your own time.
Wow.
That's not, you're not getting paid for that. You're wasting a lot of time with your family getting to and from. You're living in a crash pad with like 14 other pilots.
Wow.
Or you're getting a lot of hotels, which gets very expensive very quick. So that is not a fun life. That's one of those things that, unfortunately, we love what we do, and so we romanticize aviation a lot. Mm-hmm. But, and I've always said this, like on your streams or in the Discord, I will tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly, because you need to know it. Exactly. It's not just all about, you know, seeing different cities and getting paid great money and, you know, flying. It's like there are cons to this job. Mm-hmm. Not many, but the ones that we have are kind of big. Like if you live in you know, Portland, for example, but your base is in Miami, that is a
Mm,
whole day or
wow.
two that you're trying to get to and from. And we don't fly positive space. We fly standby. So if there's not a seat open,
Yep.
and like let's say someone else has the jump seat in front of you, well now what? Are you going to double jump Miami?
Yeah.
Are you have to call your company and be like, hey, I can't make it. You only get so many of those a
Yeah.
year before they start to go, hey man, you're a liability.
Wow.
So it's very stressful to commute. So that's most
Wow.
people will try to figure out if they want to fly for an airline, for example, or a company, you're going to figure out what are your bases. That was one of the biggest reasons for me against Delta was like, I don't want to live in those bases, but I knew I wanted to live in base and I knew I wanted to live in Denver. So then I have to, kind of zoom out again and be like, okay, well, Southwest has a huge Denver base, United, Frontier. And so then I zoom back in on those companies.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
great question. It's a fantastic
Awesome.
question to
Yeah,
ask.
that's a great question indeed. Awesome, awesome, awesome question. Thank you so much for that awesome answer. Also, let me see. Somebody asked, "Hey, Captain Nick, I'm visually impaired, so unfortunately I can't be a pilot like I want to. But would there be anything else in the aviation field that you would suggest?"
Yeah, find your passion. So unfortunately, if flying is your passion, there now someone else also asked, and I'm gonna piggyback on this
Uh
question.
huh.
I'm gonna answer it, but I'm gonna piggyback. Someone was talking, Jake, I think, was saying that they may have some medical things going on that may keep them from being a pilot.
Yeah.
Keep on that like daily, weekly, monthly, because stuff changes. Type 2 diabetes
Yeah.
used to be a disqualifying factor for pilots.
Wow.
And last year they changed it. You can now have type 2 diabetes. Well, we had so many people who were like, oh, I'm not going to be a pilot because I have type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
And then when that changed, if you're not staying abreast of those situations, you may not know that that changed. And now your reality is it's possible again. So, for example, back in the day, you couldn't actually wear glasses. Well,
Mm.
now, as long as you are correctable to 2020, it doesn't matter what your vision is. So just keep on that. If
Yeah.
that's truly your passion, you truly want to be a pilot,
Yeah.
but you think this thing will keep you from it, I would say go to, ask the right questions to the right people. I'm not a doctor. We have special doctors called AMEs,
Hmm.
Aviation Medical Examiners.
Yeah.
Those are the people to ask. And you can kind of anonymously ask because you don't want to like dig yourself into a hole, but you can kind of anonymously ask, hey, hypothetically, if I had this, a stigmatism or whatever it is it a disqualifying factor? You want to get that answer. Um, Now, let's say it is a disqualifying factor, but you want to stay in aviation. I mean, man, you could be a million things. I don't know if you can still do ATC, but maybe you can do, AMP, you're a mechanic, or you work on avionics, or
Hmm.
you are one of the ground crews that are helping us getting our planes ready and taking bags on and off and towing the plane around. Like we have a million jobs
Yeah.
within aviation. Find
Awesome.
that passion and figure out if you can pursue it.
Awesome. Awesome. That question came from the Monix family. So Monix family, man, keep going, man. As Captain Nick said, there's a bunch of different options in the aviation field. So keep going, man, and hopefully you'll find something, man. Much love to you. Another question here from Spooder, man. Say, can pilots choose their hubs, or is it different for every airline?
Um, yeah, it's so, obviously like Southwest has certain hubs and they open them and hopefully they don't close them. So like we know next year Nashville's going to open and we're hoping within a couple years, for example, maybe St. Louis or Kansas City has been rumored. Um, so it's all about seniority and like, okay, like I work for Southwest and if I wanted to be based in Los Angeles or Vegas or, you know, uh, Orlando, for example, do I have the seniority to hold that? And then when is that next bid? And one of the great things about Southwest is because we only have one plane type, we do a monthly bid.
Oh,
Whereas like American and Delta, they have so many plane types. Your plane type might actually not even be at that base. You might actually have to go all the way back through training to get a new type rating to fly a different plane. And then they may only offer that opportunity every 6 months, a year. You may be seat locked for a couple of years. So that's a big, wide open ended question.
yeah,
But
it
definitely,
is.
You want to
Awesome.
know, can I get to this base because I live there or I want to move there? That's a very important question.
Yeah. Captain Nick, we really appreciate you, man. We do have some more questions, but I don't want to keep you all night. I know you have family, so give me a number. Tell me how many more questions can we ask? Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Let us
yeah,
know.
let's go with 3 or 4 right now.
3 or 4. Okay, got you. All right, so let's go with 3 or 4. We have a question here on TikTok. Said did the pilot shortage normalize at all, or is it still 100% a thing? Somebody wants to know if there's still a pilot shortage.
Yeah, so those words, pilot shortage, I'll be a little preachy with this question. That we never had a pilot shortage back in the day. And then what they did was they put us against each other for so long with such low. I told you, my first year as a pilot, I made like $8,000.
Wow.
No one wants to spend $100,000 getting all your ratings. Plus, at the time you still had to have a bachelor's degree. So I had to spend $100,000, for example, on a bachelor's degree. So now I'm $200,000 in debt, making $8,000 a year. I cannot live on that.
Yeah.
So to get to that point, that's how we had a pilot shortage to begin with. It wasn't because we were making a ton of money and we had all these days off and great contracts. It was, you have all these people with such a passion to become a pilot, but you're not incentivizing them financially, can't afford it. So they went in and got other work, being anything else. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh wow, we have this huge pilot shortage. Yes, you created one. Now there's these monster incentives, like PSA's offering, like I could go to PSA right now and they give a $250,000 sign-on bonus just to become a pilot with them. So they're incentivizing so hard right now. They've lowered hey, we don't need a bachelor's degree anymore, and you can be younger and do this now, and we'll help pay for your schooling. So it is helping because now more people are like, oh wow, I've always wanted to do this, but I couldn't financially make it, and now I can. So it is helping to normalize the situation, but we're still quite a ways behind. Like we're still short-staffed for sure.
Got you. Understood. Thank you so much. I think Rockout asks, can you be a pilot if you have ADHD?
Once again, man, that's unfortunately it's an AM question that I just don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid it, but
Exactly.
there's a lot of that you will have to. So AOPA, I think everyone should kind of go through them as well. They are a pilots helping pilots organization, and they do offer medical advice. They help a lot, and they offer legal advice. So you may have to pay $20 or whatever. Like they keep it very cheap. It's pilots helping other pilots. And so if anyone has a medical question, that's probably a good place to start because they'll keep all your stuff confidential and they will help you with getting to the place you want to be without digging you into a hole. So I would say contact AOPA and run with them.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. So we're down to our last 2 questions. We have a question here from Antonio who said, is there a thing about Flight Simulator that you don't like as an airline pilot?
Not really, man. I mean, so the funny thing is I get off my trips, I come home, and a lot of times I see one of you guys online. I've got a lot of people from the Discord as my friends, and I just hop on with them. So it's like I just got off the trip flying, but a lot of times you see me in like an F-22 or an F-15 because I fly the 7.3 in real life. But no, man, flight sims have come so far, and it is amazing. We use it in flight training all the time.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what it can do for someone who actually pursues being a pilot. They're like, oh, I actually know what this is. I know how to do this. So no, I think it's it's not everything's 100% real.
Yeah.
Not everything is, you understand that you're playing a video game still, but it is as close as you're going to get without getting into like a level D simulator or in the real plane. Indeed. So I think they're incredible.
Awesome. And we have the last question here from Rylan. He said, what is your favorite part of your job and what do you not like about it?
I am extremely happy with the career that I chose. I love, it gives me so much time, like the twofold situation with that is it gives me so much more time at home. Awesome. But when I'm gone, I am gone. Like when I go on a 3 or 4 day trip, my family is without me for 3 or 4 days. I don't come at night, That's something you have to get used to. Is when I'm home, man, I am home. I mean, I can put my phone in a drawer if I want to, and have
Awesome.
nothing going to pull me away from it. And then at the same time, when I'm gone, I am truly
Gone.
gone for the trip. So that's probably the best and the worst part at the same time.
Awesome. Well, technically that was the last one, but somebody asked an interesting question. Do you think someone who plays Microsoft Flight Simulator could actually land a real airliner with the help of ATC? Last question.
Um,
That's interesting.
Maybe. That there's so much, like in flight sim that you don't have to do depending on your realism setting.
Yeah.
And there's so much, like when you actually get in the plane, it's like putting you up on the stage with like a rock star. You may know how to play that guitar, but the second I put you in front of all these people,
Mm-hmm.
do you still remember how to play that guitar?
Exactly.
So I would honestly say that you could fly the plane around, no problem. Physically flying the plane is not hard. Knowing what you're doing to come in for a landing, get everything ready, actually touching down safely, that is a very different story. Now, if it's like a Cessna 172 or something like that, yeah, I do actually think that can be done. But if it's a full-blown airliner, they're pretty complex.
Got you. Well, once again, thank you so much for hopping on with us today, Captain Nick. We really appreciate your insightful inputs on all these topics, and I really appreciate you guys for asking all these amazing questions. And if you guys want to continue the conversation with Captain Nick, he is in the Discord. Feel free to join our Discord. Here is linked on YouTube. This is how it looks. Feel free to join. Once again, thank you guys so much for hopping on. Thank you so much, Captain Nick, for your amazing discussion you had with us tonight. Thank you so much once again. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas with your family. Say hello to your family, to us, and once again, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. It was such an honor to speak with you.
Have
a great Christmas, everyone.
Thank you so much, man. Have a great Christmas. Have a good night. Take care.
You too.
Peace.
Hey, buddy.
All right, guys, that was Captain Nick. Shout out to Captain Nick for hopping on with us, man. Much love to him. We're having on again sometime soon as we're about to land right here into Philadelphia. We're going to be coming in on runway 9 left. We are T-minus less than 5 minutes away from touchdown. But once again, shout out to Captain Nick for that amazing question and answer. Appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for following on TikTok, guys. So Philadelphia Airport is just ahead of us right here as we're about to touch down right now. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. We have our flaps are down to 50%. We're 240 knots. Retired Firefighter said, great job. Hey, shout out to you, Retired Firefighter. Thank you so much for hopping on. Alrighty, here we go. As you guys can see, there is snow. It's not snowing in Philadelphia, but because of the Christmas vibes, we are flying and landing in snow tonight. Here we go. And right now, let's take a look at the vote. We are voting for the next flight. It's going to be a short flight. The options are Tampa to Miami, Fort Lauderdale to Bahamas, El Salvador to Managua, or New York to Boston. New York to Boston is in the lead with 37%. It's a W trip. Hey, shout out to you, man. All right, so here we go. All right, so at this moment, we're going to put our flaps to 100%. The airport is coming up. I think Brian said he landed a few minutes ago. He said his landing was a 9 out of 10. Nice. And Tony said he's in an Airbus A319 today. Awesome. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think we should do. Should we land in a cockpit like this? Or should we land on the outside? Let me know real quick. Should we land in the inside or the outside? I was about to touch down here into Philadelphia. Brian said Captain Nick is such a nice guy. He is indeed, man. Shout out to Captain Nick once again. Thank him so much for all he does for us, man. I see Jesse in front there. Find a beautiful F-22. Retired Firefighter said inside. Light Riz says inside. I think this first time ever inside is going to win if we actually do inside. All right, so we're going straight, and then we're going to make a slight right. Past 11 said he's back. Welcome back, man. Said he had dinner, took a walk around the neighborhood. Look at the Christmas lights. Wow. Beautiful. Antonio said inside, got you. Rockout said inside. Everybody said inside, got you. All right. It's always fun landing in the cockpit, so let's see what we can do here. We can't technically see if it's butter from the inside, but I'll try to maybe go outside and inside. But let's see. Kyle said, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you too, man. Much, much love to you, bro. Master 11 said, inside, awesome. I love finding this beautiful 737 cockpit, man. It's absolutely beautiful. Brian said, I'm loading out because my game will likely crash the next flight. All right, so I think, yep, I'm beginning to see the lights up ahead. Right here is the airport. So that's what we're aiming for right now. Here goes nothing. Hey, shout out to you, man. So I know this landing will be perfect because the pilot is Trip. Much, much love. Hey, what's up, Christian? Welcome to the stream, man. Say, what's going on? Good to see you, Christian. Right now, we're just touching down here into the beautiful Philadelphia. The beautiful bridge right here. If one thing I love to see is coming in, seeing this bridge landing into Philadelphia in real life. Looking out the window, seeing the bridge is awesome. All right, so right now our altitude right now is 2,000 feet. Actually, no, it's 6,000. We are going 260 knots. So the Philly add-on is so beautiful. That's something I need to get, Antonio. I definitely got to check it out. Somebody said, how do you record your screen while going live? Oh, I use OBS. OBS. That's a streaming software. Brian said, Antonio almost got it. Oakland and Baltimore instead. Oh, nice. Thank you guys so much for 32 likes. You guys are absolutely amazing. So greetings from Indonesia. Thank you so much for watching all the way from Indonesia, man. Much love to you. Let me know what you guys are watching. Watching from much love. All right, here we go. I see Jesse below us right here. All right, we're down to 5,000 feet. All right, let's get down to 3,000 feet and drop our landing gear. Cloud Server said, incredible questions indeed. Incredible questions. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. Because I just got a text from Captain Nick, says he has some extra time. So if you guys do have any more questions for Captain Nick, feel free to let us know, because he can come back on stream again. So feel free to let me know if you have more questions. If I see some more questions popping up, I will indeed give him a call. He says he's free to answer some more questions. But once again, thank you guys so much for hopping on. Paul said, Merry Christmas from the UK. Wow. Paul said, right now it's 1:27 a.m. Wow, much love to you and Merry Christmas to you, Paul. I'm going to drop our landing gear. Brian said, oh, Trip, I got the Concorde in front. What? Brian, you got the Concorde? Sheesh. How you liking it so far, man? So Merry Christmas from UK. Much love to you again. 10 out of 10 landing. Nice. Antonio said, hi from Spain. Shout out to you, Antonio. Thank you so much for hopping on. What time is it right now in Spain? Good to have you. Appreciate you guys so much for hopping on. That is the bridge that we were talking about earlier. So we're getting closer and closer. All right, so I looked off for a few seconds. Let me go ahead and actually pay attention now. I'm going to switch the music to the landing music. Here we go. Once again, flight attendants, please prepare for landing. Should have been prepared for landing a long time ago, but hey. Here goes the... What in the world? Is that a 747? That is a 747. Yeah, I think I might need the Philly add-on to Antonio. The scenery is looking absolutely beautiful. Do I have a little bit of crosswind? Once again, if it's your first time hopping on, thank you so much for joining. You guys are absolutely amazing. Ooh, what? All right. Chloe's back. What's up, Chloe? Welcome back to the stream. The scenery is looking absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Who's flying at 747? That's Justin. Nice. Justin, beautiful flying with the 747, man. Philly is actually not too packed. It's just more of us flying into Philly. The family coming into Philly right now, but Philly is absolutely beautiful. Here we go. 2 reds and 2 whites on the poppy lights. Good light slope. Thank you so much for the follow on TikTok. Much love to you. Here we go. Gonna rotate. Flare. And we are down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beautiful Philadelphia. Alrighty. And we are down. Alright. Let's go to taxi. Might as well go to taxi. Normally stop right here, but might as well just get off the runway real quick. Appreciate you guys so much for the buddy emojis. Much love. I did have a video this week that a pilot actually landed and stopped in the middle of the runway, causing a bunch of delays and everything on the runway. So let's not do that right now. Let's get off the runway before we get yelled at ATC. Appreciate you guys so much, man. I see nice landing. Appreciate you so much. All right, let's at least do some Southwest style taxiing. If you know, you know. Shout out to Southwest and Captain Nick. Do some fast taxiing off. And let's go to end the poll for the next flight. The next flight is going to be from New York over to Boston. Let's get it. That is a beautiful short flight. Awesome flight. Alrighty. Let's hit this hard left right here, if we can. You know what? Let me do some taxiing from inside of the cockpit. I haven't done it in a while. Shout out to you, man. Say what I told you. Butter because of Captain Trip. Hey, shout out to you, man. Much love to you. I think I'm actually going to get the add-on for Philadelphia. It looks beautiful still, but it will look much better with the add-on. The gates are a little bit far. All right, let's go ahead and start the next flight. Is that a Concorde next to me? That is the Concorde. All right, so let's go to start the next flight. Appreciate you guys so much. Next flight is going to be super short from the beautiful New York over to Boston. All right, so we're going to be voting for the flight for tomorrow. If anybody had any, not tomorrow, man. I forgot tomorrow's Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. Early Christmas to everyone. So let's go for Tuesday. Let me know if you guys have any flight suggestions for Tuesday. Looking for a flight between an hour and 30 minutes. We'll be having a vote in a few minutes. Brian said trip, the Baltimore and the Portland add-ons are very nice. Got you. I'm definitely going to have to check it out for sure. Thank you so much, Rock Out, for putting in the JFK codes. JFK code, he said KJFK over to beautiful KBOS. All right, so going to be taking off from runway 31 left. I see Brian is about to take off over to KBOS. Boston Logan. Going to be landing on runway number 4 right. Perfect. Thank you so much, Rock Out. That was some awesome runway selections. All right, we are ready to go. Retired firefighter said Caribbean flight. It said Jakarta to Bali. Somebody said Chicago to Pittsburgh. Does anybody have an amazing Caribbean flight so we can do one on Tuesday? Let me know. We can add that to the list to put on a poll. Hudson, good to see you. Hey, what's up, Cloud Surfer? He said, better landing than I ever had before in my own plane. Hey, shout out to you, Cloud Surfer. Much love to you. And I really appreciate all the gifts you sent on TikTok. Much love to you, man. My S11 says Santo Domingo to Barbados. That's a beautiful flight. We almost have 40 likes here on YouTube. Keep smashing that like button, guys. Thank you so much for 36. Hope everyone is having a wonderful night. Once again, you guys are absolutely amazing. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and start this flight over to the beautiful Boston. We might have time for our next flight, honestly. So, we're going to pick that randomly at the end. If we do have time, we will pick a short flight at the end. But let's go ahead and start this flight over to Boston. Super short flight. Once again, guys, we're live on YouTube if you guys want to hop over. Much love. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. Bing, boom. All right, so you guys know with the 737 PMDG, this is the most realistic plane they have on Microsoft Flight Simulator. So sadly, I mean, not really sadly, but you just have to mess with the FMC and program some stuff before we take off. So that's going to take probably 30 seconds. So let's go and take out 30 seconds and program the FMC. Once again, appreciate you guys so much for hopping. If you're joining for the first time ever, welcome. All right, so let me go to camera and get into the instrument settings, FMC. There we go. All right, let's get this party started. So let's ask the flight attendants to continue or start their pre-flight announcements.
All
right, here we go. All right, 1 second.
If you get mad, you want to take your choice and go home. There's 6 ways to get there: 2 forward exit doors, 2 overwing window exits, 2 rear exit doors.
Is it Brazil flight? Brian, that would be awesome. If anybody have any suggestions for Brazil flight, that would be amazing to do on Tuesday.
Chewing gum wrappers, banana peels, and all the gifts you leave for us from time to time. It's a safety information card. Take it out, check it out. You'll notice in the highly unlikely event that the captain lends us near a hot tub. Everybody gets their very own teeny-weeny yellow Southwest bikini.
Route.
One size fits all. Take it out only if told to do so. Place it over your head.
We're leaving from New York, right? So KJA.
Once outside, pull down on the right tab to inflate to manually inflate one of the tip at your shoulder. The flight attendants are coming by, hoping that you'll tell them how good looking they are. They're going to make sure your seat back's in tray.
Man, that flight attendant is going off.
Upright and absolutely most uncomfortable position possible. And your carry-on items are crammed and shoved completely into the seat in front of you, leaving absolutely no room for your knees or feet. As you know, it's a no smoking, no whining, no complaining flight.
No complaining flight.
Thank you, and you are such a good-looking flight attendant. at flight. Smoking is never allowed on board at Southwest. If you cause smoking in the lavatory, the fine that's $2,000, and if you want to pay that for your airfare, you should have flown somebody else.
What's up, Yankee? I see you, man. Good to see you.
Make you that nervous the next 2 hours, you're more
All right, so now we are set
We don't discriminate
and
at
ready
Southwest.
for
We've got
our
a special
flight.
smoking section just for you. We'll even show you a movie tonight. We have Gone in 60 Seconds. And the flight attendant serving you. Her name is going to be in her
And the
bottle.
flight attendants are funny. All right, here we go.
Federal law group is
Today we're flying Southwest 737. A little bit snowy here in New York. Headed over to Boston, short flight. Flight time is about 35 minutes. Flight attendants, once again, thank you so much for your...
Just do what we say and nobody gets hurt.
Oh, she said, do what we say, nobody get hurt. That sounds like a hijack. What in the world? All right, here we go. Flight attendants, please prepare. Take off. Let's get it.
Stop screaming. Let go of your neighbor. Pull over that plastic tubing is fully extended. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally.
Yeah, man, the flight attendant is indeed going off right now. OWL, I know, right, bro?
You are receiving lots and lots of jet oxygen, that is. And if you're traveling with small children, we're sorry. If you're traveling with more than one child, pick out the one that you think might have the most hurting potential down the road.
Hey, yo.
And if you're traveling with somebody needing a
But the
very
flight
special
attendant is...
assistance, like your husband, bless his heart, or your wife, put on your mask first.
Oh,
And
my
that's it for the news. Don't
gosh.
show and tell. Sit back and relax, or you can sit up and be tense. Either way, it's about a 2-hour flight. Gate to gate, the clock is already ticking.
She said, pick out the best kid to save in case of an emergency. That is insane.
And if there's anything you can do to make our flight more enjoyable,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
take it immediately. We're not shy at Southwest. That's what we call very cheap entertainment. Nobody had to pay extra, but you certainly don't get a refund. Thanks again for choosing Southwest, and welcome aboard.
Well, and she got an applause too. Okay, thank you so
that's
much.
Sweet, but cash is always better.
Wow.
Also, to enhance our beauty a little bit and set the ambiance, we're going to dim the cabin lights. If you need additional reading light, just push the button above your head with a hairy light bulb on it. That'll turn the light on. However, if you push the button above your head with
Well,
the
she's
light
still
attendant on
going.
it does not turn us on.
Yikes. They started to clap. And she said, cash is better. That is wild. Alrighty. Well, that happened. Rocco said, I love it. Alright, so once again, it's going to be a super short flight over to Boston. That is hilarious. Retired firefighter says, someone needs to tell her to talk to the hand. The OGs remember that. Retired firefighter said she had a few drinks. Man, Southwest flight attendants are the best, man. They're hilarious. It's a W flight attendant right there. Indeed, indeed, indeed. What's up, Riz, sir? Hey, Riz, sir, did you change your username, man? Wait, Brian said she sounds like my wife when she's angry. She won't stop talking. Oh, boy. Yo. Brian, I hope your wife is not anywhere near the computer listening to this stream right now. Yo, Brian said she would drive me to drinking. Oh, boy. You guys are hilarious, man. Master 11 says she's still going like the Energizer Bunny. Indeed she was. Indeed she was. Well, well, well. So what's the snacks for tonight, guys? Somebody asks, what snacks do we have for tonight's flight? Got some pretzel, we got some Biscoff cookies, got some Doritos, PB&J sandwiches, we got some hot chocolate, coffee. Anything you guys need. Feel free to ask that flight attendant. Hopefully she's sure she had everything you guys want. What's up, Seal? Matt said cookies. What kind of cookies? Chocolate chip or macadamia? Portland smash burgers and the Portland butter cookies. Yes, sir. We got Yankee in the chat. Good to see you, Yankee. Baklava. I've never had that before. Would love to try it though. Pedro said, got to be the sugar for Christmas. Hey, sugar cookies for sure. Clover Cloud, good to see you. Thank you so much for hopping on. Welcome to the stream. Much, much love to you. Until it's a shout out to the Dolphins. Was a Dolphins fan today. Cowboys lost. We didn't get to talk about that much. But yes, sir. Shout out to my Miami Dolphins. Going to the playoff for the first time in years. That was awesome. Once again, guys, Merry Christmas to everyone. Make sure you guys have a wonderful time tomorrow with the family. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to tomorrow most. Which dish you're looking forward to most. Brian said he's already 17 nautical miles away. Already, Brian? Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a too short flight. This is going to be way too short. So we might need a 20-minute flight, guys. If you guys have any good 20-minute flights to end off the stream, feel free to let me know, so we can hop off with a nice, beautiful 20-minute flight. And, yep. Hartford. Beautiful airport. All right, so JJ said, so Trip, on my flight home, the flight attendant gave me pretzels. I asked her if I could get some Biscoff cookies, and she went to the back of the plane and she brought me some Biscoff cookies. Hey, shout out to JJ's flight attendant, man. Was that on American Airlines? That is awesome, man. I have a similar story. My dad's sister, my aunt, told us that she wanted some Biscoff cookies in Antigua when we were traveling to Antigua 2 weeks ago. We actually forgot about that she actually wanted some Biscoff cookies. He was going to go to Publix and get some. But we remembered in the flight. So my dad works for American Airlines for a while. He's like, you know what? Let me ask the flight attendant. He's like, oh, my sister said she wanted some Biscoff cookies. Can we have like 2 cookies to take back to Antigua for her? This flight attendant gave us 10 packs of Biscoff cookies. So much love. I'm not sure who the name of the flight attendant, but much love to you. Appreciate you so much for sharing 10 packages of Biscoff cookies. Miami to Tampa. That's a good flight. W flight attendant indeed. MSFS said no hard feelings for the Cowboys. They will have to charter back home on the Airbus A310. They will for sure. Melbourne, Australia to Davenport. Nice flight. Innsbruck. All right, so looks like we were just about to pick a random flight, but it smells like a vote. But the thing is, we should be voting for Tuesday's flight. But since we're here right now, let's go to vote for the last 20-minute flight. So let's go to vote for that real quick. Hey, we got Pilot Nick on the chat on YouTube. Let's go. Pilot Nick is now in the chat on YouTube. Much love to him. Yankee said 40 likes. No way we at 40 likes. We are at 40 likes. Let's get it. Thank you guys so much for 40 likes on YouTube, man. You guys are absolutely amazing. Once again, shout out to Captain Nick. What an awesome, amazing podcast session tonight, man. Appreciate you so much. 6'9", thank you so much for joining. W Captain Nick. Let's go. Oh, Brazil. Okay, awesome. So we'll just do the Brazil flight on Tuesday then. Rock out. Feel free to put the coordinates, the airport codes in the chat and Discord so I can check it out. 41 now. Let's go. And Tony said Captain Nick's make me want to fly with Southwest. Hey, shout out to Southwest. One of the best airlines ever. Captain Nick, I think I saw one question earlier. I'm not sure if I can find it anymore, but I think one person had one question. If I can find that, let me see. Oh, somebody asked, how much automation do pilots use in takeoff to touchdown? That's a good question. I don't know if you want to answer that over the phone or in text. So let me go ahead and start the poll real quick for the next flight. I think Brian said Miami to Tampa. I think that's I wouldn't say too long, but maybe we can take off from Fort Lauderdale. Brian, what do you think? KFLL, Fort Lauderdale. Probably cut it down by maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Honolulu to Maui. That's a great one. Awesome, Brian. Sounds good. Honolulu to Maui. Nice. All right, we got 2. The live weather's awful. What? He said, a comment, Brazil flight. Oh yeah, rock out. I think Brian did tell me about your Brazil flight suggestion, and we said we're gonna probably do it on Tuesday. But I can't find your comment right now. Oh, he said you'd have to use a E195 trip because that's the only plane you have that can stop on a runway. Or you referring to the flight on Tuesday? Or you wanted me to do the Brazil flight tonight? So the winds are insane in Hawaii. The last time we were there, the winds were crazy. Anybody have any more 20-minute flights we can do? Any more 20-minute flights we can do? Feel free to let me know on YouTube or TikTok. I was about to land here into the beautiful Boston. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. Thank you so much for 42 likes. Jason said, yeah, I landed. Tracy's cookies are done. I'm BRB. Hey, awesome. Save some for us, Jesse. Columbus to Indiana. Let's go to put that down. Columbus to Indy. Brazil has kind of short runways. Okay, got you. That isn't my ideal plane to fly. So if that's the case, I might have to look for another route. But I'll check it out and see. Hopefully I can find a runway that can sit 737 or so. Pittsburgh to Philly. Oh, you guys want to go back to Philly again? Hey, what's up, Seal? Seal said I got a Thrustmaster Airbus stick from eBay, and the guy sent it with no bubble wrap, just loose in the box. No, that's not good. That's not good at all. You said also missing the right hand attachment. So mad. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that, bro. I would definitely be upset. Also, that is a very important equipment that has to be shipped with bubble wrap, and he said it didn't have the right handed attachment. Wow. So sorry to hear that, bro. And Tony said that's like 35 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's a little bit too long. Marco said I've missed all the flights into Indy. Yep, I noticed, right, Marco. You definitely have missed all the flights into Indy. All right, so we need one more short flight, guys. 20 minutes. We have so far KFLL to KTPA, Fort Lauderdale over to Tampa. Then we have Honolulu to Maui. We got Columbus to Indy. We need one more. We're going to be landing in about T-minus 7 minutes. So feel free to let us know if you guys have any runways or any. Oh, Saba to San Martin. Yankee, I don't think we can take off from Saba. I love the idea of San Martin, though. Unless we use a smaller plane. What do you guys say? Truly a Southwest pilot indeed. Airspeed is going like crazy right now. We're trying to get to Boston as quick as possible. Oh, man. Shout out to you, Captain Nick. We're overspeeding like crazy. Saying we know rock out. Couldn't help. Said use the Airbus A310. Use the King Air. You know what? Let's have some fun, man. If this wins, we'll just use a smaller plane. So let's go from Saba over to San Martin. If that wins, we'll just switch from the Southwest to like a King Air or so. So let's just switch. Christmas special. I don't usually fly the smaller planes, but it's Christmas Eve. Let's see. All right, so we are good to go. 1 second. You say use the ATR? Oh boy. That plane is terrible. Yeah, rock out. I'm thinking about that for sure. That would be awesome. Sunday would have to be in the afternoon. I do have the church in the nighttime. Captain Shaquille, good to see you. All right, here we go. Oh, so Captain Nick said he's also available right now, so we can actually give him a call real quick to end off the live also. So that'll be awesome if you could have him on the call. So let's give him a call real quick. If you guys have any more questions for Captain Nick as we're about to descend and land into the beautiful Boston, feel free. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. See, Boston Airspace is busy tonight. Gotcha. Hello, Captain Nick.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Captain Nick, how you doing, man? Good to have you on again.
I was following you on YouTube.
Awesome, man. We saw you in the chat. That was pretty cool. But yeah, man. So have you heard of Saba? You're familiar with Saba, the smallest runway in the world?
I've not. I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to figure out where we're going to go next. I was actually looking at jumping on.
Yeah, feel free to hop on, man. Right now the poll is going right now. It looks like everyone wants to see that flight from Saba to San Martin. It's a super short runway. That basically what kicked off my my YouTube career. I basically posted a video of me landing a 747 in Saba, and it blew up. It had like 15 million views on TikTok, and then I posted it on YouTube. So everyone loves to see crazy stuff like that. So I guess we might relive that again if we try to do that flight from Saba to San Martin. Well, yeah,
bust out that 7.4.
7.4 would be insane. But yeah, right now looks like it's tied right now. The vote Fort Lauderdale to Tampa is 36%, and Saba to San Martin is 36%. Yeah, my question to you. Sorry, you're kind of breaking up. Say that again.
Oh, I said I voted for Lauderdale just because I like the 737.
Oh, nice. Yeah, me too. Question to you is, have you ever flown some Caribbean routes? Have you flown, do Southwest have any Caribbean routes? Any route in the Caribbean?
So, Southwest does. I did more of that, though, when I flew for a company called Republic.
Oh, okay.
And we flew American, United, and Delta. Yeah. And so, I was in the Caribbean quite a bit, actually. I was based in Miami for a little while as well. And I'd fly to Key West, and we'd go to Nassau and Marsh Harbor and Turks and Caicos and just some of those places. Southwest, we go to 13 different countries.
Wow.
So we run down into like Mexico a lot. We go to Turks and Caicos. We go to some of those other places, but I don't think we go to Nassau too, I think, but we don't go to like Marsh Harbor though.
Oh, Got you. Welcome to the chat, Marilyn. Welcome. She said, "Hello, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, you too." Airbus also was in the chat. He said, "Merry Christmas to you too, man." Captain Nick, what time is it for you right now? I think you're in the west. I'm not sure.
It is almost 7 o'clock. I'm in Denver.
Oh, in Denver. Okay, almost 7 o'clock. Awesome. Right now for me it's 8:55 p.m. Awesome. Willie, you're still watching, man? Much love to you, bro. Yeah, so right now we're just on our way, just about to land into Boston. Look like we might be doing the Caribbean route. So I definitely don't want to take the Southwest 737 on that short runway. So I might have to switch over.
I believe in you.
I appreciate that you believe in me, but I don't want to do. I love Southwest, so I definitely can't do that plane like that, man. So we're gonna have to use a smaller airplane, like a Cessna, or what plane would you recommend for a short flight, like a short single-engine flight plane? What plane do you think we should use?
Man, I'm always partial to that TBM or something as well, but I'm probably jumping in an F-22 personally. I always see Justin flying that F-22 so well.
F-22. I know a lot of you guys in the chat are gonna love that because they love the F-22s, especially Jesse. Yeah, they love the F-22s. My only problem with F-22 is that you get to your destination too quick. I love to enjoy.
Power back.
I love to enjoy the conversations with you guys and just chit chat and whatnot. But F-22s, I go to one destination, take off, and then get there in about 5 minutes. So that's the only problem.
Someone mentioned the King Air.
Yeah.
I know the TBM. That's a good one. The
TBM is my favorite. Yep.
Yeah, I love that TBM.
Yep. Let me see.
I'm jumping in F-22 personally.
Got you. F-22 is beautiful. Master 11 said, ask Captain Nick if he's ever been given the opportunity to fly on the Hawaiian routes on Southwest.
So not with Southwest because we do a thing called ETOPS certification. So actually, while I was texting you, Trip, my wife and I just got back from Hawaii, but we were passengers on that one on Southwest. But soon they are thinking that when we get the 737 MAX 700, Denver will be an ETOPS base, and we'll fly to Hawaii from Denver in a 737.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be
Denver
a big one.
to Hawaii. How long would that flight be? It's a long flight.
Too long. Too long. Yeah, it's I mean, we'll depending on what the winds are, going out there, we'll be pushing probably 7.5, almost 8 hours if the winds are really bad.
That is a long flight, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, coming back will be faster though because we get the tailwind.
Yeah, we're looking for to end off the year on the channel with a nice long flight. Looking for like a 4-hour flight. So would you have any recommendations for like a nice 4-hour flight we could do on stream the Sunday coming up? What flight would you recommend?
You like Miami. The other day I did Miami to like Minneapolis. It was like right around 4 hours. Where would you think is a destination that is pretty symbolic for your guys' crew?
I usually do Antigua because I'm from Antigua, but we usually do that on a milestone where we hit like 10,000 more subs or so. But
sure,
we would love to go to Hawaii, but from LAX to Hawaii, that's how long is that flight? 5? Yeah, that's 6-7 hours.
Well, no, it's not quite that far. Because I think Phoenix to Miami is like 6. So if you did LA, you'd probably like 5.5. But I don't know if you could somehow like not scroll. What's it called?
Speed up the time.
Yeah, I mean you can speed up the time.
Yeah,
from
that's
LA
true.
and speed up just a little bit.
That is true. So I'll have a big vote on probably Wednesday or Thursday and have everybody pick. We got to get some good options because I would love to do a nice.
I always like flying into like the West Coast. So
for sure. The longest flight we did on stream was I think it was 4.5 hours. We did a flight from LAX over to New York. That was a beautiful flight. So I want to recreate that again. So anybody in the chat, if you guys have any suggestions for a long flight this Sunday, feel free to let us know, and we add that to the list. Somebody said I like the Miami to Minneapolis. Ooh, so Justin, you like it? Awesome. So maybe we can actually pull out the 737 that we fly right now, maybe, and do that Miami to Minneapolis, like Captain Nick just suggested. Let me see. Jose, what's up, man? How many flights are we doing today? We're on a second flight right now. Going to be doing our third flight in a few minutes.
I'm right next to you, Trip.
You
On
are?
your right. Yeah.
On my right, let me see. No way.
Kinda behind you.
I see you. I see you. There is Captain Nick right here flying the beautiful F-22. That is awesome, man. That's so cool. Miami to Aruba. That's a good suggestion. Awesome
That's a good
suggestion.
one.
Boston to Ireland. Rockout said LAX to NHL. To HNL, I should say. Then he said Las Vegas to Miami. Ooh, Las Vegas to Miami.
That one.
How long
That'd be
of-
a long one, man.
Yeah.
That's you're looking at every bit of 5 hours, I would think.
Wow. 5 hours. Miami to
Yeah.
Calgary. Boston to Iceland. Boston to Iceland. Antonio, that's a long flight. Oh, man. All right, so, wow. I just noticed we're coming in right now at 300 knots. Oh, my goodness. So, in a situation where we're in right now in real life, what would you guys do? You see, like, oh, you're coming in at 300 knots to land. You can't put down your landing gear. What would you do in this situation? Just go around?
Yeah, you definitely have to go around at that point.
Oh,
And you're going to get a call from ATC. For
oh
sure.
boy. You know what? I'm going to
We
try
have a
to...
speed limit of you can't go more than 250 knots underneath
Really?
10,000. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I mean, but Trip gets to do what Trip needs to do. That's cool.
I'm going to try to wing it right here. Put it on flaps. Speed brakes are up. We're coming in for the landing. Let's see
Better
what
throw
we
the
can
gear out, too.
do. Yep.
For sure.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. I might have to
Got it,
just
I believe it.
use the magical power of slew mode. You know what? Yeah, let's bring it down. 280 knots coming in for landing. This is insane. Oh boy. Here we go.
Yeah, remember when I was talking to you about ASAPs?
Yeah.
You'd be filing one of those for sure right now.
Oh my goodness. At least I got good glide slope. I got 2 reds and 2 whites and the poppy lights. Oh. Nah, the game is glitching out. This is going to be a terrible landing. Oh my goodness. This is funny. All right, you know what? Let's just go around. Yep. Going around. Flaps up. Let me see. Willie said he sounds so chill. He's indeed super duper chill. Awesome guy.
Try to
Man. Awesome guy. So yeah, we're doing a go around right now. We're just coming in at 300 knots, landing in Boston. That was absolutely insane. Jesse said fresh cookies are the best. Awesome. Sounds like you got some good cookies from your wife, Tracy. Shout out to Tracy.
Dear
Jose's-
Tracy, I would like to.
Yep. Yeah, some good awesome cookies from Tracy. Jose said, Trip, is this your first go around? No, sir. You've done a go around before in San Martin and different places before. It says, so Captain Nick, so what happens if the pilot goes above 250 knots below 10,000 feet? That's another question here from Antonio.
So that is breaking FAA, well, we call it FAR, Federal Aviation Regulations. And so if you have not declared an emergency, so like remember when I told you that I had to, declare an emergency for the medical? Then you can go, you do whatever you need to do. But if just on a regular flight you find yourself breaking that speed limit, you have to file what's called an ASAP, which goes to a committee that basically looks at what you've done, and you kind of just tell them like, hey, I messed up, here's what I should do different the next time, here's why I messed up, because we're trying to gather data. So like, did they mess up because of radio communication, or was it just a simple misunderstanding?
Yeah.
And so it's data-driven technology. And so you file the ASAP, you tell them that you messed up, and it's sole sourced, and then you don't do it again.
What happened if you
learn
do it
from
again? You're gonna be.
Well, I mean, you got to learn from it, and then
Yeah.
unfortunately, and they would see it as a trend, and they would start to wonder whether or not you're, just kind of doing it on purpose, or like what's, you probably get some questions for sure.
Yeah, indeed. Everyone is saying how Captain Nick is such a cool person. Yeah, man, Captain Nick is actually cool. He's like actually my friend, guys. Like actually, we speak on the phone very often. Even off stream, he's a pretty good, awesome guy, man. So shout out to him.
Okay.
We got Lily's in the chat. What's up, Lily? Lily said, hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, Lily. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas Eve. How are the cookies? Master Lemon said, Antonio, you will be pushed. Let me see it. Brian said, my game completely froze. I had to unplug it. Oh, boy. Brian, I'm so sorry.
I'm sending best friend bracelet soon. You better wear it.
You said what?
I'm sending best friend bracelets soon. You better wear yours.
I got you, bro. I got you. Definitely. Rocco said, butter landing and the Airbus A321, 9 out of 19. Wait, Rocco, 9 out of 19? You mean 9 out of 10? Got you. Hey, what's up, Ari? Welcome to the stream. We're just gonna go around here into the beautiful Boston. All right. So come what may, we're gonna get this plane down. If it's a terrible landing, it's just a terrible landing. We're gonna see what happens. Gonna bring our flaps down. All right, here we go.
Fun thing about this airport, I was based here for years.
Really? What?
After you land, if you turn around, these things that we're flying by right now, these loading train things.
Yeah.
If you're a Star Wars fan, they look like those big walker, or the AT-ATs, or whatever those big walker things are. It's kind of funny.
Nice. And Tony said, so Captain Nick, what happens if you have a sudden wind shear before landing? Like, would it be a go around or what?
Yes. If you're getting wind shear on a landing, you're done with that landing. You're going to go around and then assess the situation, see if you even want to do it again, or, is it associated with a front? Kind of what's happening, and then determine whether or not you want to go somewhere else, or if you're, good to just go around and try it again. But we get them in LaGuardia all the time. We get them in Denver a lot too.
Wow. Yeah. Even in the flight sim, it's crazy how they try to simulate real life. It's crazy because I think it was the last stream I had. It was so crazy. I was coming in and all of a sudden the plane just shifted like crazy. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But you know me, I don't like to go around, so I just put it down either way. But still, that was some crazy stuff going on.
Not happening.
ATC would have been like, yeah, should have went around. Yeah, I'm about to do this crazy landing here. I'm not going to go around for a second time, so let's just put her down in 3, 2, 1. The passengers are screaming, but at least we're down safely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
safest attitude. Don't go around.
Welcome to the beautiful, beautiful Boston. All right, so we're going to end off the live with. Wait, is it tied right now? No way. All right, so Captain Nick. What should we do for our tiebreaker? Because right now I think it's Honolulu to Maui's 30%, Saba to San Martin 30%. So how do we break this tie? Because I thought everyone was set on going to San Martin, but it looks like we do have a tie.
Yeah.
Should we flip a coin? Last time we flipped a coin.
We absolutely flip a coin or ask the Magic 8 Ball.
All right, let's go. Let's go to flip a coin. Magic 8 Ball. That is funny. Let's go to flip a coin real quick. So. Let's go on Google real quick. Type in flip a coin. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We got tails. All right, so we got tails. It's now tied. So the next one it lands on is the winner. So in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. We are going to Saba to San Martin. Let's get it. So that is the winner for the final flight of the night. Here we go. All right, so we're going to be taking off from the shortest airport in the world. So that means I'm sadly going to have to say goodbye to the 737 tonight. And I'm going to be hopping over to what did we say again? Was it the
TBM?
Yeah, TBM. All right, so departure is going to be from TNCS. What's up, Austin? Welcome to the stream. TSNCS, and then over to San Martin. Where's San Martin? Right here. Princess Juliana. Runway TNCM. This is going to be one interesting flight. 10 minutes, okay? Going to be a short 10-minute flight. TB. Are you going to be joining?
I am. Yeah,
awesome.
Typing it all in rapidly.
Awesome.
I'm on a controller, so everything I do is.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna build a flight sim one of these days.
Oh my, that's every flight simmer's dream right there. Building their own flight sim. That's pretty awesome. Austin said, "Hi Brian. Hey, what's up, Austin? Good to see you." Master 11 says, "So some of you are having issues with the glitches Boom, boom, boom. What are your opinion on the Airbus A310, Captain Nick? Airbus A310, because
It's kind of stubby, but
yeah,
man, Airbus. I'll tell you what, legit Airbus makes a quality product. There's always that, like, oh, if it's not Boeing, it's not going, and Airbus is the
yep,
best and whatever. But I mean, Airbus makes a great product. The A310 I think looks really really stubby in real
yeah,
life, but it's still a phenomenal plane. I mean, I'm more partial to the looks of the 7.3. And one of your people had a question
mhm,
about how much automation do we use,
yeah.
and that is very, like, Airbus uses a ton of automation.
Wow.
They highly recommend you throw the autopilot on early and keep the autopilot on as long as you can,
Oh,
whereas, like, especially at Southwest, we are very hand flying. We like to fly planes. That's why I got into this industry, is to fly
yep.
a plane. And so you'll see us hand fly sometimes pretty much all the way up to altitude, and then, depending on what we're dealing with and how much is going on landing, most of the time I turn mine off at like a couple thousand feet and just hand fly it the rest of the way in.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So Airbus basically wants you to always use autopilot, and Boeing basically you don't really have to. Some just you have to, but
And we like to fly.
yeah, you like to fly. Got you. All right, guys. So we're about to take off from the beautiful, beautiful Saba. As you guys can see, this is a super short runway. It's awesome to see you guys lined up. I see the beautiful F-22, bunch of F-22s, and we have the TBM. Here we go. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. Let's get it. There's no flight attendants on this plane, but hey, let's get it. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I was debating on getting that TBN with you.
You should have, man. It's a beautiful airplane. All right, let's go ahead and see. Man, rock out, Justin. Awesome takeoff.
That is
Ooh.
so short.
That was close.
That was so short.
That was a close takeoff. Oh my goodness.
Short runway.
Oh my goodness. That was a
I
close
thought
one.
it dipped. I thought it dipped down. It just stopped.
Yo, I thought I crashed for a second there because there was a rock right at the end of the runway too, so that was way too close. Yeah, Willie, that was too close, man.
I thought that runway was going to dip down or something. I didn't realize it just stopped.
Brian said, I don't know how I didn't crash. I'm telling you, Brian. Wait, Brian, what plane are you flying in? Let me see. Let me see. Brian is in it. You're in the E17? E170? No way. You took off from Saba with an E170. That is awesome. Alrighty, let me go ahead and turn on live weather and see how it's looking.
That's what I flew at my last airline.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful plane. You got 46 likes, guys. Smash the like button. Almost at 50. Trying to get 4 more likes to get to 50. Appreciate you guys so much for hopping on. Alrighty. So what do you guys normally do for Christmas mornings at your house, Captain Nick? Do you guys open presents?
My wife and I are very, what would you call it? She loves you, by the way. I've got you on speakerphone.
No way.
Just
Hey, shout out to Captain Nick's wife. She is listening. She is awesome. Thank you so much for hopping on. And you have an amazing husband.
My biggest supporter on this planet. And
that is amazing.
So we are a very non-traditional family. I would say it is not crazy for us to, like, for Thanksgiving, everyone does like the turkey thing and whatever. Like we're gonna go to like a Mexican restaurant or like a Chinese buffet, or we like to experience different culture.
Yeah.
So we'll try to do that. We don't really have a stereotypical life at all, or stereotypical anything.
Yeah.
Our traditions are non-traditional.
Oh, okay. Got you. That makes sense. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I like that. Hey, shout out to Pedro. Pedro, is that you flying with us? I thought you said you wasn't going to be able to hop on, man. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate all you guys so much for hopping on. Let me see. Somebody said, boom, 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 boom. But yeah, appreciate you guys so much. Somebody said, go from New York to JFK. From JFK, New York to London. My goodness. That's a long flight. That's a long flight. Captain Nick, would you ever want to do a flight like that in real life? I know Southwest don't do that route, but that is a long flight.
Which one?
From JFK to London. That's a long flight. Would you like those type of long
It's
flights?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I The reason I didn't go to American United and Delta is that is so hard on your body.
Yeah.
To be a pilot and actually do that. It's not how long, because I mean you can see, like, I try to make everything as real world as possible. So I send a lot of times on my days flying, I actually send my schedule to your Discord,
Yeah.
so that people can see what a real world pilot does for Southwest. So if you can tell, I actually do, time wise, I do those flights actually. Like I'm flying for 8 hours a day
That
or
is
9 hours
true.
or
That is
whatever it
true.
is, but it's not all at one go. It's like, I fly from LA to Seattle, and then I actually get to like walk around or, stretch my legs. I don't like the idea of sitting for like 8 or 9 straight hours going to one destination, one landing. That's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that is pressure. It's a lot of 8 hours of just sitting completely. I mean, I know they have like 3 or 4 pilots for those long leg flights, but still, man, that's a little bit too long for me. But
JFK to London might only actually be one crew. I don't know if that's
for real?
enough
Wow.
to have a reserve crew. Yeah.
Wow. I think somebody mentioned in the chat they said the longest flight ever was, I think it was Singapore to New. I'm not sure. The longest flight ever.
Yeah, it's like 16 or 18 hours.
Yeah, I don't know how to. It was a 787 also that does that flight.
Absurd.
That is wow.
That's absurd to me.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess the passengers enjoy it because I think they said they made the whole cabin first class. So basically everyone is in
Yeah.
first class, but at the same time the pilots, man, 16-hour flight nonstop.
That's too much.
That is a long flight. Willie said, is there a limit to how long you guys fly?
Yes, there is. We have limits to everything. We have limits to how much sleep we need. We have limits to how much we can fly, and not just fly, how much we can actually be out there. So someone posted on the Ask a Pilot site, they're like, "Oh, you're only flying 5 hours today," and I was like, "Kind of," but that's physical flight time. So like our flight time is from the time I drop the brake in Miami, for example, to the time I set the parking brake in LaGuardia or whatever. So that is what we consider flight time. So while you're boarding, while I'm waiting for the next plane, while I'm going through security, that's not considered flight time. So it's a little not accurate to be like, oh, well, he only flew 5 hours today. I might have physically flown 5 hours, but my day was more like 12 or 15 or what have you. So we physical flight time, I think, and don't quote me on this, it's either 8 or 9 hours. That is our max, and it all depends on your circadian rhythm. So did I start at 4 in the morning? Did I start at noon? That will determine how long I can fly on that day. How many legs do I have? Or how many flights do I have? That'll all change. I can actually send a screenshot on the Discord of those flight times.
Awesome. I would love to see those flight times indeed. I'm kind of nervous about this landing on the TVM, man. This plane is very, very, very sensitive compared to the other planes I was just flying. But let's see what happens.
Don't mess up. You've got about 4 F-22s surrounding you, so you're
That's
good.
true. That's true.
No pressure.
That is funny. Antonio, I see you're flying the MiG-29. Let's go. Let me see if I can find this airport real quick. Oh boy,
right, isn't it?
That is the airport right there. All right, let's cut the engines and nosedive down. Here we go.
Oh, I will tell you, watching your streams,
Yeah.
you have better hand flying stick and rudder coordination than the average airline pilot. You don't use a flight director. Yeah. So
No way.
I don't know if you realized or not. Like on your last flight, you weren't using a flight director at all.
No, I wasn't.
That takes a lot of scanning. So someone was asking on the last stream, like, does Flight Simulator make you a good pilot? Absolutely. Because if I got you in a real plane, which I'm a flight instructor, you and I could go up when I go to Miami next.
Yeah.
And when I get you into a plane, your scan is going to be better than
that is awesome.
So many people. Yeah.
That is good to know, because my cousin was asking me the other day, like, do you think you can actually fly a real plane? I was like, not really, but
100%.
I would give it a try for sure. I'll for sure give it a try. Appreciate you so much for letting me know that, man. That means a lot.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Still coming in way too fast, but you know what? I don't see anybody else on this plane, so it's just me. Brian said trip.
We need dramatic music.
It's just me, so I can slam it into the ground. Brian said, Trip, I highly recommend the add-on for San Martin. The beach at the end is really, on the runway, is lit up, and it looks nice. You got some cruise ships, too? What? Nice. Got you, Brian. I'll definitely check it out. Awesome. Rockard said he buttered the landing. Nice. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Oh, boy. I see Justin and Jesse doing some awesome flying over there. I see Captain Nick in the back of us right here in the beautiful F-22 coming in for landing also.
That's cool.
All right, I got to be careful I don't stall out.
Oh, gosh, I'm going to pass it.
What's funny about this simulation also, they do have boats in the game. So if you wanted to take a boat from Miami to the Bahamas, you could actually do that. But I don't know. It's a flight simulator,
Wow.
so I'm still confused why they added that. But hey.
Oh, that's like the Corvette thing.
Yeah, they added the Corvette so you could drive around do a road trip if you wanted to. But I'm like, that is crazy. All right, here we go. Touchdown in T-minus 10 seconds. Oh, hold up. A lot of wind. This is going to be terrible. Let's see.
Don't mind the planes on the runway.
Yeah, there's a lot of planes on the runway, indeed.
My F-22s are down.
Oh, for real? Ooh. And I am down also. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beautiful San Martin. All right, let me go to try to buy some time here because I wanted to end the stream at 9:30. It's currently 9:22. So let me go ahead and taxi to the gate. If you guys have any more two questions or one more question for Captain Nick, feel free to let us know if we can burn some time. We got 8 minutes
Absolutely.
to burn. Feel
I'm
free.
here. I'm all yours.
Feel free to ask Captain Nick any questions. Thank you guys so much for the buddy emojis. Let's go ahead and taxi real quick. Yeah, there's a lot of planes here. I see a bunch of ATRs.
I think while you're
awesome.
taxiing around, we're just going to give you an air show, us F-22s.
Let me go ahead and check it out. Nice.
I'm
Noah
just
said,
taking off on a taxi.
yeah, Brian, I think I'm actually get the add-on for San Martin because it looks great now, but imagine if I get an add-on, it's going to look amazing. All right, let me go ahead and boom, boom. You see a bunch of, oh, look at the beautiful 777. Air France. All right, let me see if I can see you guys flying around. All right, there we go. Perfect. Let me get my controller so I can actually zoom around the air real quick. But we have 46 likes. Thank you guys so much once again for 46 likes. Let me go ahead and check this out real quick. Randoms, welcome to the stream, man. All right. I heard there's an air show going on, so I'm trying my best to go into showcase mode. Right above me? Let me see. Oh, I see it. There goes Justin. There goes Captain Nick. We got Jesse. Man, this is awesome, man. This is a Christmas Eve to remember, man. You guys are absolutely awesome. Willie said, I'm not used to seeing Trip flying little planes. Indeed, man. We usually fly the bigger jets. But tonight, special night. Beautiful air show right here. We got even Antonio giving us an air show. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so any more questions for Captain Nick before we hop off? Also, for the flight on Tuesday, I think we're going to try to do a flight to Brazil. If you guys have any more suggestions, feel free to let me know. We've never been to Brazil here on stream, so we'll see. But right now, we're just enjoying a nice, chill air show by Captain Nick, Jesse, Justin, and Antonio. Absolutely awesome. Antonio said, Captain Nick, do you have the 737 in the sim or not?
The PMDG one? Yes.
Yes. Oh, so you do have it.
I do.
Nice.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So would you say?
First,
go ahead.
it's a great plane. I mean, it did an incredible job. I mean, not everything's perfect, but it is very, very, very close. It's as close as you're going to get without being in the plane. Got
you. Yep. For me, a lot of people say I prefer Boeing over Airbus, of course. But Mr. Abraham, he came in here for a few seconds and he said he prefers Airbus simply because Airbus, the cockpits are basically the same. So when the captain has to transfer from like an Airbus A320 to Airbus A321, it's basically the same. You don't have to do like an intense new training. But he said when it comes to Boeing, you're gonna go from a 777 to a 737. That's a whole different ball game. So that's the only thing he said that's why he prefer Airbus over Boeing.
Well, so Airbus was designed to be a common theme so that anyone could use it around the world.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, right? Like,
yeah.
You want everyone from every different culture and nationality, you want them to be able to use those planes. I mean, they're simple planes.
Yeah.
And yes, you're right. Like a A350 and an A320, they're going to be very similar.
Right.
But there's a ton of similarities, actually. If you go from a 777 to a 737, if you jump in those cockpits, they're pretty similar too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, they're built different as far as height and weight and whatever, but they're pretty similar.
Nice. Okay, that's pretty cool, man. Would you ever want to fly a 777? That's my favorite plane. Would you?
I like the look of them. Absolutely. I just I don't like the route. I mean, okay, if it's a 777 for Southwest, flying the routes that I fly, yes.
Of course. Okay, gotcha. I got you.
But I don't want to do a 16-hour flight,
Yeah, that's way too long, man. That's way too long for a flight. But yeah, I do want to visit Europe sometime, so I guess I will have to do one of those long 8-hour flights from Miami or so. But still, the longest flight I've done in real life is probably 5 hours. I think it was from Chicago to somewhere, the LAX. I'm not sure, but yeah, it wasn't
long.
Yeah, I'm saying it wasn't too bad, but at the same time, I can't see myself staying any more longer than 5 hours. That would have been insane. But once again, let me read some comments. Brian said, "Nice find, Justin. I see you." Yes, sir. You guys are giving some awesome ear show. Shout out to you guys, man. Jesse and Captain Nick, Justin, and Antonio. Awesome. He said Miami to Frankfurt is about 9 hours and 10 minutes. Wow. That's Miami to Frankfurt, Germany. I thought that would be longer. 9 hours. Okay.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Master Levin said, I can't wait for the 777X to come out in a couple years from now. Nice.
Yes.
I heard about
That'll
that.
Be cool.
That'll be nice. Brian said, do you see me in front of you, Trip? Yes, sir. I do see you right there, Brian. I see Brian Tampa right in front of me on the tarmac. Beautiful. But Justin said, if only we could have Captain Nick fly with us every stream. I was just thinking about that, man, but I know he's very, very busy. Right. I wish he was be able to join us every stream, but I know he is super, super busy. That's awesome. But yeah, whenever you're free, man, feel free to hop on. We'd love to have you fly with us, but I know you have a very busy schedule. So whenever you're free, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, I love hopping on with you guys. It's an incredible group of people for sure.
Indeed. On that note, let me read some more comments. Let me say Tampa to Seattle on Alaskan Airlines. Can't remember what type of plane it was. Oh, that was a long flight. Nice, retired firefighter. Let me see. Brian said he's using the Embraer Anguilla livery. Nice. Willie said all this is happening on the day I don't fly. Shout out to you, Willie. Next time for sure, you will hop on and we're going to have some fun with Captain Nick again. But once again, guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Merry Christmas to everyone. Spend it with your family. Spend it with your friends. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. And shout out to everybody in the chat real quick. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Willie. Shout out to Master 11. Shout out to Rockout. Shout out to Pedro. Antonio, Jesse. Biddy. Captain Nick. Every single person. Justin, appreciate you guys so much for hopping on. And on that note, Merry Christmas again. Hope you guys have a terrific, wonderful evening. You guys have been amazing. And we've made it to 9:30 on the dot. Well, not on the dot. We got a few more seconds. But appreciate you guys once again. God bless. Have a wonderful Christmas. See you guys on Tuesday. Great air show, man. You guys were awesome. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you so much to, once again, Captain Nick. Tonight was amazing. Thank you so much, man. We'd love to have you fly with us once again. Whenever you're free, feel free to let us know. It was awesome, man. Had a fun time, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you guys so much once again. God bless and take care. Peace.